to my place, you watch your mind. If you don't know what this is, I tell them one by one, some one by one. Twist my wrist. Goes like this, start with a track. Eyes on me, arch my back. Just like this, here for the night. You ain't biting, just keep watching. Goes like this, move from the back. Eyes on me, hey like that. Just like this, here for the night. You ain't biting, just keep watching.
At the Highland Insurance Group, they pride themselves on technical expertise when it comes to commercial insurance. If you're a business owner who isn't familiar with the details of your current insurance program, you're not alone, but now is the time to fix it, not after the hurricane or the car accident. Call the Highland Insurance Group today to set up a free audit of your policies and let their experts place your program with one of the dozens of carriers they're contracted with. Or find them online at the Highland Insurance Group, highlandig.com.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This Father's Day, help Dad be all he can be with a gift from the Home Depot, because he's not just Dad, he's the handyman of the house, the plumber in a pinch, and the emergency mechanic. Upgrade his gear this Father's Day with the Husky Mechanics 270-piece tool set from the Home Depot. Now on special buy for $119, a $695 value. For every kind of dad, find the perfect gift this Father's Day at the Home Depot.
Injuries don't wait for office hours. Neither does Brock. Our after-hours clinic is open nights and weekends, 7 days a week, for breaks, sprains, and strains. Walk in anytime. Learn more at brortho.com. brortho.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Tuesday, June 10th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 86. On today's edition of Off the Bench, Ben Hartsock hops on at 8 o'clock. We also have Jared Mitchell, former LSU Tiger, at 8:30, and Nick Underhill of New Orleans.football at 9 a.m. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Let's go, baby, let's go.
From a championship backfield to your morning drive.
Hands to Hester, and Hester,
Yep, got it. 5 out of 5.
You're locked in to Off the Bench.
Flynn is back to throw from the end zone.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Yo! Welcome in, OTB, here on this Tuesday morning.
Yo.
Jake, Matt, Alondra, and Tay-Tay all here with you. How are we doing this fine Tuesday morning? What's the vibe? Little vibe check around the room.
I'm doing amazing.
I bet you are.
You know why?
Good. You got a good little pre-vacation glow to you, sir.
I know you do kind of get that little pre-vacay feel.
Yeah.
You kind of like you're kind of halfway here, halfway there.
Halfway. You're typically halfway here. So what are you now? A quarter
I guess
here.
that made me a quarter. I'm a quarterback.
There you go.
Hey, see that?
It makes sense. Makes sense.
But yeah, you kind of got to start thinking about all the little things you got to get done.
There's no children on your trip though, because this is your 40th birthday trip, correct?
Yeah, no children.
Oh, that makes packing and getting the logistics of everything much easier.
Sure, but if you procrastinate like I do, you kind of got Kind of got everything to do. Got a lot of errands to run.
Has anything been
Necessities
done?
to pick up.
Do you have like your passport, real ID, like whatever you've got to have there? All that.
Actually, I do. Actually, for whatever reason, I was prepped for the real ID thing.
Well, you need to be.
I had it.
You fly for business a lot. I have still not done it yet because my busy season is like fall all the way until like March, and then I just don't go anywhere typically for the summer. But I do need to get that for SEC Media Days.
I was actually flying, traveling the first day that the real ID was implemented.
May 7th.
Like they were requiring people to have it. And they talked a big game leading up to it, but they had a lot of flexibility that day. I had it, but they were stopped. I mean, like every third person was getting stopped, and they just had to like move over and get a little pat down.
Yeah. Did you have like your nose up in the air a little bit because
like,
you had it?
Huh.
I can see you doing that.
You're just uncultured swine.
Yeah. If they only knew the lack of preparation that you typically have.
But I do. I got a real ID. I got a passport. We are ready to roll.
That's true. You just went to France.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got everything ready.
Yep.
We got you here for the next 3 hours.
France was with the children, with the family.
You said the way you said that was not.
We had a great time.
Not a fun flight.
We had a great time. They actually did pretty good. They did better than I thought they were going to do.
Might have done better.
I was a little bit dreading it leading up to it. Not a little bit. I was.
Yeah.
100%. But they crushed it. That's what 4 straight movies will do to you.
Alondra, Tate, how we feeling? How we doing?
Feeling good. Yeah. I don't really have anything
to add to that. Turks and Caicos, that's where you're going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
No, I don't have anything really to look forward to. So.
Yeah.
Alondra came in here fired up. She's a big Racers fan.
A little Murray State.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I forgot that their mascot was the Racers.
Yeah.
Look at Matt figuring it out all on his
Way to
own.
go, Matt.
I just learned that yesterday.
I learned the other day that
Shocked.
it's because they're in Kentucky and they did it after the Kentucky Derby. I just thought it was a cool mascot.
I didn't even know they were
Wait,
in Kentucky.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they were from Kentucky.
I was trying to figure out where the state Murray was.
Yeah, sure.
Last night my wife was like,
T-Bob
where?
would still be looking.
Right.
He's like, where's Murray at? Where's that state? Is it by New Jersey? Oh, that's not even a state because he once did say that he thought New Jersey was just a city.
He did not know New Jersey was a state.
So
No, we're a lot more awake than we were yesterday morning. So we're good to go. Also, why is it always called why is it Turks and Caicos? Always hear everybody say that.
That's a great question.
It's
Like,
Trinidad and
Who
Tobago.
is Turk and who is Caicos?
Like, why is it? What I'm
All
saying,
right.
like, why is it two things? Is it two separate places, or is it literally called Turks and
Hey,
Caicos?
I'm going to be honest with
That's
you
a
here.
great question.
I've got a little bit of T-Bob feeling right now. I have no idea where it's at.
It's
one
by
of those.
Cockburn
It's
Town.
one of those islands.
It's one of those islands in
That's-
between here
yeah.
and South America somewhere.
It's above
feels
the
vague.
Dominican.
Okay.
It's between. It's like to the east of the Dominican and Cuba.
Okay.
Like right between the two.
All right.
Turks or
Yeah.
Caicos?
Yeah.
Both.
I mean, it makes me
Gotcha.
think of Turkey. I'm sure they don't have any turkeys there.
Probably not.
I don't know what Caicos
There's
makes me
a
think.
country that's Turkey.
Their capital is Cockburn
That's a
Town.
fair point, too.
Yeah.
There's a country named Turkey.
What activities are we doing for the big 40th birthday?
Probably
like,
not
do you
a lot
know?
of activities.
Enjoying
I don't
some
know. What do you do?
Ice cold Dos Equis on the beach?
Oh, many.
I don't know what you
They
do.
got
I've
Dos
never
Equis
been
out
there.
there?
Oh, everybody's got this.
yeah.
Everybody's got it. Come on, it's worldwide.
Worldwide.
Basically Pitbull.
Yeah, I don't know what do you do at a place like that? You just
I don't
you
know.
hang out.
Just
You
vibe.
maybe take a little boat ride.
My brother,
Maybe
Jet
have some
ski.
beach drinks.
I've got 5 children.
Yeah.
When's the last time you think I went to a beach and didn't have to?
I don't know. I got 3 children.
You got a jet
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
don't
they're
think
not
like
going.
2 more prevents you from like taking
they're-
a trip with your wife.
But they're not going. Where are they
Well,
staying?
you can go with a trip. You can go on a trip without your children.
Who are these kids staying with?
I don't know. Are you talking about mine, or are you like the theoretical your children?
Either
if you
one.
go?
Either one.
Yeah, you find someone.
Hey, you doing anything Wednesday through Sunday next week? Got these 3 kid situation. I'm gonna need y'all to come help out.
I mean, you gotta have a good babysitter. Gotta have. You know, it takes a village, Jake.
I know.
It takes a village.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't know. I don't have a village, but I've heard
You
that.
should do it.
I
You should take
I've
Katie
heard
on a trip
that it takes a village
without children.
All right. Hey,
I mean, next year, because I need a year to get my feet under me here on this radio.
I was just about to say, if I go on vacation, that means you're up here.
No, I don't know.
I think to get started, we're going to get the show started, but to get that conversation started, I do think that Tay could sit up here with you, and y'all could go back and forth, and we'd get a feeling for Tay at least the first time that I miss.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know if anybody wants me to just go ahead and solo host this thing.
I'd actually love to see it.
Yeah.
It'd be
love to see it.
It'd be like a train wreck.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
absolute train wreck.
Yeah.
I kind of described, this show, this version of the show, like a beautiful disaster.
Yeah.
But that would just be a disaster. Me doing it solo.
Probably.
I think.
Yeah.
But it'd be great to watch.
You'd be okay, so you'd get everybody that I know that doesn't typically host and they don't do solo, and they've for some reason got to do solo, be it because somebody called in sick the day of, or somebody got in an accident, or for our Sirius XM, sometimes stuff happens because I'm in Baton Rouge, my producers one is in DC, one's in LA, and then my co-host is in Miami. So things happen, right? Typically about 6 to 8 minutes of, good content, full bore.
Yep.
And it's we've got 2 hours and 52 minutes left.
Yep. No. I mean, it better, if it ever was going to happen, first of all, I would be in cold sweats for sure. Second of
all the live reads.
Oh my God. Whew.
The full minute.
Bro.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
We're going script for sure, if that's the case. 1,000% script. But it better be in the middle of football season. True. And it better be on a Monday. True. Where I can at least talk about
all games.
Every game. But then I mean, that takes care of 2 segments.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could get an hour football season. Yeah, for sure. You go SEC only and get an hour.
Especially when we get that game film.
I think I'm about to have to break the news to you that we're not really allowed to take off during football season. It's kind of really, 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 really frowned upon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
I know somebody who did it last year.
Yeah.
Is that you?
No, T-Bob did it.
Oh, where did he
He did
go?
the Disney Halloween thing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, guys.
The week before Alabama, T-Bob was actually, you know what?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Hey, look. This is 7 days in a row for me.
Are you going to be here tomorrow?
I might have earned a day off.
So, but in your mind, I think you're I've earned this.
Oh, man.
I've done
kudos.
I did a week and a half. I
kudos
earned
to
this.
me.
All right.
Respect, guys. Put some respect on my name. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted you to get to double digits before you missed, but we didn't get there. But it's okay.
Oh, Andre, and you're right, though. It would be a train wreck if I solo hosted. But one day,
it'd be great.
We're going to improve every single week.
Let's do this.
We're just getting better.
Let's do
that.
this. Next year, on June the 10th, I'm going to be out. And you're going to solo host.
Gives you a whole year.
Gives you a whole year to get
Let's
ready.
shoot for 2027. 2027, you and Katie book that trip.
No vacation.
Contract going to be up by then.
I know. God bless. All right, let's go ahead and get this show started.
It's time to get glowing, courtesy of GoFlow IV Spa, where hydration, vitamins, and a summer-ready glow are always on tap. Now, for starters.
That is exactly right. Stop in at GoFlow IV Spa and see how good being hydrated feels. Right on Jefferson near Bocage. Book your appointment today. That is GoFlow IV Spa. Check it out. Facebook, GoFlowIV.com on the intrawebs. A lot of ways to get in contact with them. A lot of ways to go and get hydrated, feel better, get ready for the weekend.
Man, if you're celebrating, I don't know, an LSU baseball victory, a little too hard. Having a few cold pops.
Not too hard, just maybe
the right amount.
Yeah.
Appropriate for the size of victory that they have. Next morning, GoFlow IV Spa. Check them out, GoFlowIV.com. Hydrate.
All right, so we are going to get to LSU and Arkansas, but we did have one more spot available last night. Super regional play on the way to Omaha, and man, what a game it was. Murray State holds on. They beat Duke 5-4, and there's a lot of different moments in that game that got to the 5-4 scoreline, right? So I'm not being disrespectful to those moments. A lot of solo home runs in this game. But it was the ending that had all the drama, right? Because it felt like, oh, man, Duke's going to come back. Like, they're going to come back. Murray State, I mean, their closer's been out there since Moby Dick was a minnow. I mean, he's thrown so many pitches. He pitched the day before as well. They're going to hit a home run. They're going to walk this thing off. And credit to Murray State. I mean, they battled. They just honed in on what they had to do, whatever it had to be. That's what they got done. And credit to them for thinking they got a walk-off double play because the runner was called out at first because of the slide in the second. They dogpile. They're celebrating. They're like, we won. We're a 4 seed, the 4th only to go to the College World Series. Only to be told, hey, pitcher at the bottom of the pile, my guy, you got to get up, actually, and you got to go get another out. Like, think about that mindset of celebrating, and every celebration is going to be different. Like, if that was LSU, we saw them. They ran out of the dugout, and they were like, all right, woohoo. They didn't dogpile, right? Because it's LSU. It's their 20th time to go to Omaha. This is Murray State's first time, and only the 4th seed, like we said.
Yep.
So they used all their energy in like that small celebration, only to be told, hey, guys, we're going to need y'all to come back on the field. And to go from that to getting the out, that was big time because I just knew Duke was going to walk it off some way, somehow. And then, poor fellas, the second celebration, it was a half-ass dog pile that was awkward as hell.
Yeah, come on, go ahead and you get on the ground.
Yeah. All right,
I'm going to lay
here,
on top of
I'm
you.
here. It was
they were like, the first one hurt.
The first
one hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
It was, so I was watching the game, and so I'm sitting there. It's the bottom of the 9th, and I'm like, all right, Duke's at home. They're the bigger school. We got these racers and like winning this game. There's no way they're going to win it. Like, the scene was set for this walk-off.
Felt like
the first guy got hit by a pitch.
I know.
First guy gets on base, and I'm like, well, yep, this guy's going to hit a dinger.
Yeah.
And then it happens where they call the double play out, the interference, the runner interference. They dogpile, and like, what a fortuitous like scene it was. Like, when they had to unpile everybody. How many times do you see that? It's like, well, at that point, I'm like, I'm 99% sure Duke's winning this game because of the whole dogpile situation. Because it's not just like a mental, it messes with your mind so much. It's kind of like in football when we always had the saying, like, if the defense drops an interception, the offense usually scores. It's just like you think you have something,
yeah,
and then it's taken away from you, or it slips through your fingers, slips through your hands. But, yeah, credit to them. I think the closer, they said, threw like 52 pitches or something like that.
He
the
pitched
day before.
Yeah, right.
He had some juice, too.
He's still, I mean,
he was like,
he's not a guy that was like hitting, 96, 97 ever, but he lives around 90, 91, and he was throwing 92 still, like, in the 9th inning, closing out Duke. Like, whatever his peak was, like, he stayed at it, so credit to him.
Adrenaline is a hell of a drug.
It is, and credit to him for staying locked in after the first dog pile. Can you imagine if Duke would have won that game and you're Murray State and you thought you were going to Omaha, you do the whole dog pile situation, first time in school history, next pitch, tank. That would have that'd have been tough.
It'd been fun to watch, though.
It would have been fun to watch.
Not having a dog in the fight.
It would have been tough.
Like, I was watching it with like the whole family was in the living room, and we're watching it. And like after that happened, the kids were like, "Who we cheering for, Dad?" And I'm like, "Well, I'd kind of like to see a big bomb right here myself, but because I kind of wanted that little bit of drama."
You're cheering against the little guy?
I thought it would be fun for them to lose after the dog pile.
Their head baseball coach cuts their own grass on the field.
He makes like
$68,000
a year.
What a dream of mine. Like, if I'm the head baseball coach, I'm cutting the grass myself.
I can't tell if you're serious.
He loves cutting the grass.
I love cutting grass.
Cutting the grass.
I love cutting
grass.
I
don't
know
why, but he loves cutting grass.
I'm
go
the
push?
Oh, yeah. I'm the type of guy that's like, after I cut the grass, I'm like, Victoria, come look at the grass.
Oh, yeah. You like to cut like...
Oh, still? Is she like... Taylor,
again,
I've seen your grass cutting skills. We get it. Your Air Monarchs are really nice when you wear them out there. We get it.
What do you love about it? Satisfying? You love the smell of the fresh cut grass. You love being outside.
Like the way it looks.
You just like the way it looks.
I just if I got like today, the rain better hold off for me because it needs a cut.
You cutting that grass?
I need to.
Get your ass out there in the rain. Cut that grass, boy.
You pushing this thing or are you riding?
I'm push mowing.
Oh, the whole deal?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tay.
So I don't know
the Monarchs out there.
I don't know what happened.
No John Deere?
Recently, I don't know if it's because I'm like a dad or whatever, but I get these like Instagram videos pushed to my timeline of these guys like cutting their front yard and their backyard to make it look like a golf course.
Yeah.
Golf course. And like they have like the golf course like cutting equipment and they prime it and it's like their front yard is lined. You know how you can get it like one that's like shiny and then the other it's like striped almost. And I watch every single video locked in. And I don't even like cutting grass. I can only imagine what your timeline looks like.
You got a lot of that? It's probably because you keep watching it.
No,
I guess so, but like
I don't do it. Like I'm never going to do that. Like that's never going to be me. I'm never going to like.
But you're not going to watch. Like if you wouldn't be locked into a video.
A video, yes. A video of mowing, no. Right now.
You know what I like? When there's like an overgrown yard.
Yeah, that's
they fix it.
And the guy comes in and is like, hey, I'm going to
fix it.
The one
guy, his name's like SB Mowing or something.
Yeah.
He shows up, he's like,
see,
hey, I'll cut
you
your
act
grass
like
for
you don't
free.
know what we're talking about. You know.
I know.
He's like, oh, I'll cut your grass for free. He's like, can I just put it on my YouTube channel? And
incredibly satisfying.
It is. Usually there's definitely a walkway under there.
Yeah.
Somewhere under the grass. Yeah. Can't see it.
Didn't know that was there.
That is good. Anyway.
So Murray State, shout out. They get the victory. And now in the bottom portion of the bracket there in Omaha, it will be Murray State and UCLA, LSU and Arkansas. In the top portion, it is Arizona, Coastal Carolina, Louisville, and Oregon State. So for LSU, if they win, they will play the winner of UCLA and Murray State. And they did get that primetime slot. So it is going to be game one, Saturday, primetime. No surprise there. No surprise that LSU in Arkansas would be the primetime game because when you look and no teams that made it last year made it this year, which is incredible. But there was a lot of teams, Murray State, Louisville, even UCLA, Arizona. Some would say Coastal, although I think Coastal was always going to be there. It's just a really good baseball team. And so you look around the matchups, you got a 3 versus a 6 national seed. No other game is going to feature that. I mean, so Arizona Coastal, Coastal the only one that was a national seed. Oregon State Louisville, Oregon State a national seed. UCLA Murray State, UCLA the national seed. So LSU Arkansas, because of course.
Of course, why not?
That is the matchup between 2 national seeds.
Yeah, we got the hardest one, I think.
They got the hardest one too.
Yeah. True.
Kinda,
no, you're right.
Yeah,
you're
same
right.
situation.
Theirs is harder than ours.
Theirs is harder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
But if you win, I do like the matchup of whoever wins against Murray State and UCLA.
Yeah.
Because you look at some of the other teams in the top portion of the bracket, I think there's 3 teams immediately, Arizona, Coastal, and Oregon State, that are better than both those teams.
Yeah.
So you do have the hardest matchup in game number 1 if you're Arkansas or LSU, but I think you get a favorable matchup in round number 2 if you win.
That is true.
So, all right, we will step away for the first time. We do have a big show planned for you. We got Ben Hartsock joining us in about 35 minutes from now. Played 10 years in the NFL, Ohio State Buckeye. Now one of my colleagues over at SiriusXM talks some college football. We've got Jared Mitchell joining us at 8:30. And, of course, Nick Underhill, NewOrleans.football at 9. Stay locked in. Also, OTB Mailbag at 7:30.
7:30.
7:30 because we got a lot of guests on today's show. So move it up. 7:30. Hashtag OTB Mailbag inside the Bayou 4 chat. And we'll get to it in about 10 minutes from now. More OTB when we come back on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench.
All right, go to centralplumbing.org. Centralplumbing.org is the website for, you guessed it, Central Plumbing. But remember, not only in Central, they are in the entire greater Baton Rouge area. So if you're in Central, obviously they can handle whatever. But no matter where you're at, listening area here locally in Baton Rouge, they can help you. 225-925-8552 is the 24/7, 365 weekend holiday game day number. If you have an emergency, it is the number to call because they will be there that day. Also, if you're looking to upgrade, you don't have an emergency, remember, they can come in, they can give you a complete remodel at your home, at your business, something small, maybe a new vanity, new tile, or if you have a business that needs a complete makeover. Whatever the situation, they got you, centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, that 24/7 emergency service is so clutch. Whether you got an issue with your toilet, your dishwasher, your water heater, whatever it is, give them a call 24/7, 225-925-8552.
Easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to
From players to legends, Hester and Flynn break down LSU football like only champions can.
Legend. Starting where I'm coming from, I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately.
Banger.
Definitely.
Bonafide banger.
Shout out to CW. Shout out WB. Shout out One Tree Hill. Shout out Gavin. Yeah.
Can we hear you hit that note one more time?
Which one? Who? Me?
Yeah.
What note did I hit?
I don't know. You were singing this and it sounded great.
Oof. That wasn't it.
It was better in the break.
It was better in the break. I did sound pretty good.
Also,
you had more
I noticed,
confidence in the break.
Yeah, because nobody was putting you on the spot. I get it.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
That was on me. I put you on the spot.
I'm not a duet kind of guy, you know.
Oh, you
If I
need
could
like
just
the
sing by
instrumental.
myself, yeah, just instrumental.
Oh, so Gavin's bringing you down.
Not a duet guy. You're an idiot.
I like to be solo.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Noted. Tay, you put some LSU football news in the document. Obviously, big blow for LSU recruiting, it sounds like.
Yeah, so Jordan Arsamon, who was one of the directors of recruiting, is leaving. He's joining a professional sports agency.
Athletes First, correct?
Firm. Yeah, Athletes First is where he's going. Jordan was big, like, behind the scenes helping the athletes to get, like, their NIL deals and stuff like that, like, for a number of years now. He has been here since 2022, so the past 3 years, and LSU has cleaned up in the transfer portal, a large part because of that. He was also the director of player development. Like, I get it, he's not an on-field coach, but this is actually a pretty significant loss.
Yeah, no, Jordan's done a great job, and had many conversations with him over on the Ponderosa about, roster management and making sure everything is in place. Now, I wonder with the new settlement if that changes some things, because you do technically, like, you have this salary cap situation. It's like, hey, each athletic department can spend $20.5 million. We know football is going to get this amount. Now, that amount might change by $1 million here, $1 million there, bless you, Tay, depending on where you go to school. Like, Kentucky might give a little bit more to men's basketball. Mississippi State might give a little bit more to baseball. Like, there might be some of that, but for the most part, it's going to be pretty similar as far as how much you spend in football. So I wonder, like, having that fixed number, like, is this a role that you try to go and hire a big gun? Yeah. Does this role change because of the changes with the settlement and everything?
Well, I don't want to use the term easier, but I think, like, with this,
well, there's some rules.
Yeah, there's rules finally, so it becomes a lot clearer on how to operate. So I think leading up to this point, and I'm surprised like more of this didn't happen across the country, of like agencies, plucking good talent around the country, because you've had to like bulk up the people that your staff, basically, because there has been no rules, and so you kind of gotta the rules have been made up as you go. So. But now that there's an actual number, what you do is so much clearer. Like, it's been clear as mud leading up to this point. Like, try to get one person to explain how the world of NIL and rev share and all the elements work. Like, give me a clear picture. Put it on paper. Give me an outline of how this works. And every team's going to be different. Every state's going to be different, coast to coast. But now we got rules.
Yeah, well,
thank God.
We've got something. We have something that.
Can you imagine being a coach in the last couple of years operating?
No,
because you don't know who's going to be on your team. You don't know where to find the money, who to find the money, what money to find, what's in the gray area, what's in the shadows. Like,
I was talking about this with BK down in Destin. It's like, imagine, because we have 2 portal windows. Imagine paying a player January, February, March, and April. So that player's on your tab, and then he goes into the portal in the second window, and you're like, man, I just paid 4 months for you to hang out.
Right.
Like, I just paid for your school, lodging, everything, and gave you money, like, paid for you to be here.
That was real dollars.
And then all of a sudden, like,
in your bank account.
you go somewhere else, and that's what they were having to deal with. Right. And they're trying to get a clear picture of that as well, trying to get one portal window. Because, and look, I'm always going to fight for the players, so I'm not hating on the players, but like, you could kind of hold these teams hostage, because, like, we just saw Iamaleava go from Tennessee to UCLA. Well, he thought he was going to hold Tennessee hostage. Josh Heupel's like, no, we're good, fam. Like, we're going to go get the quarterback that you're going to replace, and he's going to come replace you, and we're going to set a standard here at Tennessee. And so it's not always going to work out, but
I think we saw both sides take advantage of the lack of rules. Players, and we saw schools, certainly. We saw schools like say, yeah, you're going to get $1 million to come here, and the player doesn't see a cent, right? Players should not be able to get paid and then just leave without some sort of, like, and you said it, we are always going to be player first because we were players.
Yeah.
But there's got to be, hopefully this is a step in the right direction, because we don't need to get like into a bigger like theoretical discussion about like, amateur versus pro and CBAs and stuff like that. But in the NFL, we can just compare it to that.
Yeah.
If you do something and then you do something to breach a contract, you have to pay back that money.
Yeah.
Like that money goes back to you.
Yeah.
And every contract's a little bit different. Like if you're under contract with the New Orleans Saints and whoopsie daisies, went downhill skiing, snapped my leg.
Yeah.
You got to pay money back.
Yeah.
Like you don't just get a free pass and say
literally
whoopsies.
says no skiing, no extreme sports in everybody's contract. People do it, but it says it.
Some people get it right out there, but
yeah, like the top 3% of players that have that kind of.
That's why your
ability.
boy at the ripe age of 35 went skiing for the first time and tumbled down a mountain.
Yeah.
I've never been skiing.
I've never been because of it. I was like, you ain't cutting me because of a skiing accident.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm stay off the slopes.
That is not going to happen. Like I probably told this on there. I don't know. Who cares? I'll tell it again.
No one was listening.
So going into my 5th year, I think it was 5th year, whatever. Man, I was just, football, just not happy with it. I was a Pro Bowl alternate the year before. I felt like my best year.
Oh, you came to Seattle too. Little workout.
Well, yeah, that's true. That year. Let's see. Yeah. So I go in, and I was a free agent, and I went to Seattle. The only reason I didn't sign with Seattle is because they weren't going to guarantee anything, even if I got hurt. They're like, hey, you've had surgeries. Right. We're just not going to guarantee anything. Like, we'd love to have you. And it would have been fun, man. I would have enjoyed that. But I played it safe, and I went back to San Diego. And I signed, my signing bonus was not a whole lot. I don't even remember. But, towards the beginning, right before camp started, I'm like, man, what am I missing here? I was really good last year. I had my best year. I was a team captain. Went out there for the coin toss every week. And then, all of a sudden, I saw my role, change. They were going away from fullback. And I could kind of feel it. And Norv was always a two-back guy, and I could just feel it because he had pressure to go win. And so he was kind of going away from us a lot.
But Norv was still there.
He was still there, but it was 11 personnel, and I could tell, the fullback's not even really going to be used here. And I could just tell, I went from playing 20, 25 plays a game. It was 3. I'm like, oh, boy. They might not even carry a fullback. And I remember thinking, do I love this enough to sit here and play 3 plays a game? And I was just, just frustrated with the whole situation. So I remember I was like, I'm going to retire. I'm done. I'm mad. I'm pissed off. I called Norv and he didn't answer to retire. I literally called him and then he didn't answer. And then having conversations with different people. But I remember my agent's hey,
when did you call him? During the season? After the season?
Oh, this is right before training camp.
Right before. So before your 5th year.
Yes, before 5th year. Yeah, before I went to Denver. And I remember my agent being hey, that's fine. I get it. You're frustrated. You're mad. The roles change. I get that. But if you do that, you got to give back that entire signing bonus you signed. And I'm like, good point. Fair point.
All right.
Fair point.
I see you.
It's really good.
I see you, fam.
So, it wasn't the only thing. I ended up having a conversation with Norv, and he changed my mind, even though exactly my fears of them going away from the fullback happened, and they didn't keep a fullback.
Right. Did you get released at the end of training camp?
Yeah, no, I got released. Yeah, end of training camp. Then that's when I signed with Denver.
That the following week.
No, a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah. But my whole point of telling that story was I was going to have to pay that back.
Yeah, you don't want one agent's conversation can change a whole lot because we as athletes you tend to think with your heart.
Yeah.
And you never you sign a contract. It's like most contracts. You sign it and you never look at it again. So yeah, they can talk some sense into you. Who was the running back that y'all kept that year? So I would have thought because how we utilized John Kuhn.
Yeah.
In Green Bay. Really good with pass protections, knew the protections really well, really good getting out third down back.
They had Ryan Matthews was RB1, first round pick. LaRon McClain, is that from Alabama, Baltimore? So he was kind of the guy you're talking about. He was more of a running back that played a little bit of fullback, and he had a 1,000-yard year in Baltimore. And so they brought him in the offseason, and again, to kind of change the roles. We lost Tolbert to free agency to the Panthers. I'm trying to think. There was another running back, and John Battle, I think was the guy's name. He played for the Chiefs. Great guy. Maybe the stiffest human being I've ever seen on a football field. And I'm like, what? What are we doing? Now, he was a giant at running back. He was like 6'2", 240, like that kind of. So they completely changed the model of what we did.
Right.
And I felt it. I knew it was happening. And I
weren't happy about it.
Should have signed with Seattle.
No, you shouldn't have, because
that's true.
They decided to play somebody else, and I was just a miserable grump.
We could have been miserable together.
I was a grumpy little soldier.
All right, on that note, let's take a break. OTB Mailbag when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Whatever. I think you're in a great mood. GoTommies.com is the website. GeauxTommies.com. Literally the best in Baton Rouge. That is not just us saying that. That is the advocate, right? The best in 2025. Best windows. Tommy and the team.
2016.
I mean, you go all the way back.
17,
Angie's, yeah.
best, 18.
They got
best.
more banners than the Lakers, okay?
Oh,
that's what we're saying.
If you could retire numbers over there at Go Tommies.
If you could retire a double pane window, they'd have it done. Go to the website today, schedule your appointment, check out what they can do for you, testimonials, a gallery of work right there on the homepage, GoTommies.com.
Yeah, when you have a company coming into your own personal home in your personal space, you want a company that operates with integrity, that's dependable, professional, most importantly, efficient. GoTommies.com, 225-250-8808.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play. By a 5-star sales service and finance. Go the extra mile. It's never crowded because Mercedes-Benz vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's
just a number. Goodwood Bend Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes for instead. Refreshing Dos Equis. Like the lucky just got luckier.
When you look at your land, where others may see dirt, this, it's Halloween. Future. We're proud. And you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by.
More game than a gumbo pot. Hester and Flynn serve it hot on Off the Bench, Baton Rouge's own championship duo.
Alondra did that one on purpose.
It's so.
Wait, what was that one? I didn't hear that one.
You want me to do it again?
No. That feels
You want me to play it again?
Is that the I Love Gold?
That feels
No.
unnecessary.
It's the gumbo one.
All right, let's get into a little OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for Off the Bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Flynn,
Yo,
is
what's
it
up?
true that the My High factory is very similar to Willy Wonka?
Yeah, the lobby, pretty much. Not quite as big, but it's beautiful. And it turns out some damn fine products. DrinkMyHigh.com.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Do y'all think they should reseed when teams make it to Omaha? Arkansas and LSU in the first game is dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
For sure.
I mean,
You don't
it
care.
makes sense.
I don't
guess,
have like
that
a
you
strong
would.
opinion on it.
Because there is always upsets.
Yeah.
And then it's like, hey, wait a minute. We're
I
a
guess,
3
yeah,
seed and we
that's
got to
a
play
good point.
LSU if I'm Arkansas.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't
hate it, but I don't have like a strong opinion
Right.
on it.
It's just, I think looking at the scoreboard, like in the corner during these games, is just sloppy. When it's like all these you look at it, nobody's got a seed like in the regional supers. It's it's like a 11 versus a nothing, and you're like, it's just sloppy looking. Give me something. Give me something like my kids want to cheer. They want to they want to pick.
I mean, to the
favorite.
point, like you would be on a crash course for LSU-Arkansas in the final.
Yeah.
If you reseeded it, and that'd be kind of awesome.
Yeah, let's just do that.
True.
Yeah. So, hashtag OTB mailbag. Does LSU actually break the Jello shot record?
If Gordon goes back up there and
Depends on how long they're there.
That's what I'm saying. It always depends. Like if you're 2 and done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to. It's always tough to. It's
They
kind of
played the maximum amount of games last time.
Yeah, because you came out of the
losers bracket and you went to game 3 in the championship.
It's tough
series.
to recreate like a one season magic.
Yeah, I'll say no. I'll say they
I'm
won't.
gonna say no, but you never know. It's gonna get legs, but which is a good tease for us because y'all know I've been working on that spreadsheet.
I know.
We're gonna break down the actual total economics of the Jello shot situation. I know I teased it yesterday, but there was just too much information. I wanted to get it right.
yeah.
We're gonna talk about that later.
With full Rain Man.
What full Rain Man?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Love my spreadsheets.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Was Miss Davis really a 10?
No, she was an effing 10.
Billy Bob said it best.
Billy Bob
We're gonna
said it.
agree there. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Which current or former OTB host or producer would most likely wear a toupee?
Easy, Mario.
Easy. Wow.
It's an
That
easy
took you less than 0.25 seconds.
I saw the question a little earlier.
I don't know,
A toupee?
Danny. I know if Danny lost his hair. I don't know. Danny wears a hat like I do.
Yeah, Danny wears a lot of hats.
Probably, I guess Mario. I mean, just by default,
know.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Musso. Musso used to be the producer when I first started
Okay,
OTB.
Moose would wear a
I can
toupee?
see
I
Moose
can see
wearing a
Moose wearing
toupee.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not wrong. I mean, look, he's just trying to ball, you know?
Yeah.
What about like
That grade's
way
only
back?
going to get him so far.
But who's your first video producer? Tony.
Oh, you're talking about on Hanging with Hester?
Yeah.
Tony Lightfoot.
Yeah.
I know about Tony
Throwback.
Lightfoot. Who's the video producer? I guess it would have been Moose and Danny when I first started OTB.
Oh, was it? I didn't know
Yeah.
if it was Nathan or not.
No, and then it went to Mario and Danny, then Mario and Tay, then Alondra and Tay. So, Tony Lightfoot, what a name.
Good for you to come up with the last one. Like,
Shout
that's
out from
a long time ago.
Carson. Says, Hester and Flynn, love that we get to listen to LSU Legends every weekday morning. Life is good. Shout out, Carson.
Shout out.
Although you're not going to be listening to Flynn tomorrow because he's Christian bailing on us.
Mm-hmm.
What a great actor. A lot of range.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Can we get a weekly segment of stray topics from Flynn a la Meth Gators?
Absolutely.
That wasn't a segment, Nook. That was a show.
That was a whole show.
We did a full 2-hour show on Meth Gators.
Yeah, y'all don't understand. Like we would pick just one topic and hammer it for 8 segments.
We really would. Like to do a full show of nothing but Chuck Norris jokes.
Just fully committing.
I mean, it was
a playoff Joe Burrow, but I mean that was
doing
kind of
radio in the morning's one thing, but like when you're doing it at night when you know nobody's listening, it's a whole another.
Or you know the rules are completely different.
Yeah, it's like NIL. Up to this point, no rules.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Does Alondra love Dr. Pepper more than Mario loves burgers?
I don't know how much Mario loves burgers, but
he loved burgers.
I do love some Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, my kids love Dr. Pepper more than they love me, I think, sometimes.
I have at least one a day.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. What was trending holiday like? Any crazy trending stories? Trendon was awesome.
Trendon's great.
Great
yeah.
teammate.
I don't have like any off the field crazy stories.
I don't have anything either. Like he was always like, he's good. Like showed up, did what he's supposed to do, worked hard. You know, get tired in meetings sometimes.
Yeah, who didn't?
Who doesn't?
You know what I mean? Who didn't? I've never seen anyone be able to go from stopped to at full speed within like 2 steps. Like that, the guy could go quick. Like
he was actually in my class, but he gray shirted, so he was behind me a year. But my favorite Trendon Holiday story is when we were in Denver together. We played against the Ravens in the playoffs. He returned a kick and a punt for a touchdown.
That is right.
If he caught it, there was a chance he was going. Like a good chance.
You say that, but he didn't have bad hand. Like if they punted it to him.
Oh yeah,
because they wouldn't punt it to him.
No, heck no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, it came off like you're saying he couldn't catch a punt.
Oh no, you knew what I meant though.
I knew what you meant. They didn't.
Gosh, on the kickoff return, I was like the up back, and I just remember whoever it was for Baltimore, like the kamikaze guy, the L5. He just put his helmet like right in my belly, not like my shoulder, not in my chest, like right in my belly, and took himself out of the play. So I was like, cool, but I was like, that you trying to catch your breath, and and we're in the altitude as well, and it was -7 in Denver.
Right.
I've never felt worse.
Oh my God, I bet.
It was like dry heaving, like couldn't breathe.
That just goes to show you, like the NFL is such a hard place to make it for a long time. Like you got to be special, but you also have to have a lot of luck. Like Trendon returned a punt and a kickoff. I think at the time it was like the first time it had ever been done in the playoffs.
Right.
Against the Ravens.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
The NFL playoffs.
Yeah. Right.
And he still didn't have a long, illustrious career. Like it just shows that you have to be, you got to have luck.
Luck
with the skill and the talent.
Certainly outside of the quarterback position.
So much.
You have to have luck, right situation, right coach. That coach loves you. In those 2 situations where you normally would have got cut, that coach saves you, and you're able to have.
Even I go back to early Doucette. We played him in 2000. Was it the 2009 playoffs?
Yeah.
And we had beat the Cardinals the last game of the season by 40 points.
Yeah.
Even so much that I got in the game, right?
Yeah.
All right.
A lot.
We played them the next week in the first round of the playoffs, and they beat early Doucette, I think, caught 3 touchdowns in the game.
Yeah.
And they beat us.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns. And then, his career kind of stalled out. But it's in the playoffs.
I know.
3 touchdown receptions.
All right. We'll step away. I do want to get to maybe 2 more of these when we come back if we have time. OTB.
Off the bench.
All-Star.
All-Star Toyota.
All-Star.
I hadn't messed that up all week.
You're certainly going to do it today. It truly is, though, a great time to head over to All-Star because there's a lot of people right now scrambling to go to Omaha.
Cool.
And you're looking at those flights. And look, those airlines, they know what they're doing. Bumping up those prices. Keep bumping them up. Oh, why is Baton Rouge to Omaha or New Orleans to Omaha the most expensive ticket this week? Oh, there's a reason for that.
Gas prices are up.
Just drive up to Omaha. Go rent a Toyota. That way you can bring the tailgate with you. That way you can bring all your stuff to Omaha. Per day rental prices. Everything, literally everything is available. Van, truck, midsize, full-size SUV. The perfect time to rent from All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Yeah, and if you're into buying new, go online. Start the trade, your trade-in appraisal value. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in the dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
Step one, you say we need to talk. He walks, you say sit down, it's just talk. He smiles politely.
This is
back
it.
at you.
So what do we call this genre, you think, for today's
Dawson's Creek.
bumper music? Dawson's Creek genre?
CW music.
Yeah.
Staring out the window.
So good.
Staring out the backseat window.
Yeah.
Your parents driving you to school. Thinking about your crush that won't talk to you.
Totally.
Yeah, you remember the scene when Dawson's
Maybe it's raining.
he's on the pier and Joey, runs off probably to Pacey and he's making the ugly cry face. Yeah.
I hate Pacey.
It's Pacey's Creek,
He's
bud.
the worst.
Who ended up with Joey? Pacey.
The wrong person.
We got Ben Hartsock with us.
Off the Bench.
Wrong person. It's Pacey's Creek. That's what it turned into, bud.
We're having a good day. Just don't piss me off.
Yourgoodwood.com is the website. 225-4GD-WOOD is the number. Book your consultation today. You can do it by call, and you can do it right there on the website. Bottom right corner of the site. Again, yourgoodwood.com. Find your full list of services. Find pricing options for you. And look, do not live life with embarrassment or fear. Go see him today at Goodwood.
Yeah, don't live with mediocrity. You don't have to. There's a problem, get it fixed. The technology's out there. Contact them. Yourgoodwood.com. Yourgoodwood.com. Just call them for a consultation. Check out what they have to offer. Take back control of your life, your libido, whatever it is. Yourgoodwood.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, June 10th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 86. In hour two of today's show, Ben Hartsock of SiriusXM hops on at 8 o'clock. We'll have Jared Mitchell, former LSU Tiger, at 8:30. And then Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football joins the show at 9 a.m. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number two of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Okay, here we go.
Where the plays get broken down and science gets denied.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Hour two of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All right, welcome back in. OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. It is now time to go to my guy, Mr. Ben Hartsock, Ohio State legend, decade in the NFL, my colleague at SiriusXM. Benjamin, how we doing, sir?
Doing well, Hester. Good to see you, man. I don't know this Flynn guy, though. I hear he's a little shifty. I'm a little
You got to watch out for me, man.
Dude, you know this. You got to watch out on him.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Anything football related. You're a pageant dad.
Whew.
I mean, and you are thriving right now, sir.
Let me tell you something. It was not on my bingo card that my oldest would get into pageants, but here we are. And I'm going to just bottom line this thing. It's a lot. Wow. It is a lot. My oldest started pageants 2 years ago.
Mhm.
She was so fortunate. She won a local pageant last summer. So she was Miss Greater Atlanta's teen. Big caveat. She's in the teen category. She's
Right.
18. Okay. So she gets to compete in Miss Georgia. That's a big deal. Whoever
Oh,
wins
yeah.
Miss Georgia goes to Miss America, right? That's how these things go. It's like the playoff system. And she goes down to this Miss Georgia festival, I guess is the only way you can call it. They don't just compete Saturday. Saturday's the big finish. They got there last Thursday, guys. They checked in. I rented an Airbnb in Columbus, Georgia for 10 days.
10 days?
I don't even,
Whoa.
10 days. This is like Burning Man for pageants. It's bananas. Bananas.
Wait, why didn't you just pull the RV up?
Oh, because mom and dad are coming down from Ohio to soak in the festivities tomorrow. They're staying in the RV. The RV is being used as a secondary casita. It's over at the Pine Woods RV Resort, just outside Columbus, Georgia, so that we can stay as a family in the Airbnb. And you know what's funny about pageanting is, do you remember at the Combine, guys, how you're trying to be like Johnny, good teammate? Like, all right, bro, go kill it on the bench press. I hope you get 100 reps. Oh, dude, I hope your vertical's like 6 feet, bro. But really, you hope the guy trips. You hope the guy falls down.
Right.
You're not really rooting for that guy.
No.
It's that plus more in the pageant realm. Oh, your outfit is fire. It is just amazing. You know what? Like deep down, every one of these girls hopes that the other girl gets a massive zit right in the middle of their nose. That's all this is. That's all this is. It's fake. It's fake juice. Fake juice.
Oh my gosh, that is so good because you're exactly right. Like, yeah, man. Hey, go get that 3-cone drill. Like, I want the best 3-cone drill. Like Darren McFadden. Like, I hope you slip 3 times actually on this cone drill before you go. So,
yeah, exactly. That's exactly
Oh,
right. But
man.
it's an incredible thing. It's weird to have. She graduated high school. I've got a high school graduate. I've got a younger that's now a rising junior.
Yeah.
Life comes at you fast. Which, by the way, how about the fact that your boy Phillip Rivers has got a kid committed? Like all of our old teammates are getting to that point where our kids are going to college. The tweet I sent you a couple weeks ago had me cracking up. It was saying that every other year we're going to have a Phillip Rivers son going to be a college quarterback, just like the Fast and Furious movie series. Like that's the kind of the rhythm.
Funny enough, the guy who put that tweet out, Chris Marler, works for us here at this station.
So good, man.
You didn't even know that when you sent it to me. But I will say this, though. It's a great tweet, but 7 of 10 are girls for Phillip. So football-wise, right, you're going to have a little bit of a gap. We're not going to get the banger Fast and Furious movies every other year because, other sports, but just not football with the Rivers kids.
Next time you talk to Phillip, tell him don't let those girls do pageants. Stay as far away from pageants as possible. That's not the right thing.
I love it. I love it. So, yeah, definitely want to ask you about that. You did say it was kind of like the playoff there. Give me Ben Hartsock because, look, you and I did radio together for a very long time. Now you do the show before my show, so we don't get a chance to. But you and I have always had great conversations, open conversations about the future of college football. I was like at SEC spring meetings, and so I heard a lot from ADs and coaches and what they wanted to do. What does Ben Hartsock want to do with the college football playoff?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think we are in an era in society that we are designer everything. We want to design every perfect possible outcome. Whether you're a high school kid trying to be a start or a middle school kid trying to start on high school, whether you're a high school kid trying to play in college, a college kid's trying to play in pros, the college team trying to make it to the playoff. We want to fine tune. It's risk mitigation. It's like Ruben Pfeffer from Along Came Polly. You want to mitigate your risk and make your desired outcome as high as you possibly could. And the postseason, the fact that we've had one iteration of the 12-team playoff and immediately we're starting to fine tune it. We want to tweak it just a little bit to get a more perfect outcome. I understand it might be justified to make that adjustment, to go from conference championship seeding to straight seeding because of last year's output. But next year it might be completely different, and a team that deserved to get a bye as a championship team, will be taken, have that taken from them, and we'll be like, well, we need to switch it to something else. So I think all of this stuff and the playoff is no different. We are very much in an era where we can change these things and fine tune them. And as a result, maybe we'll have a more balanced bracket like we didn't have this year. But the unintended consequence is the meaningfulness of the conference championship games is diminished. Those win or go home games or the bye that came as a benefit of those go away.
Yeah, they certainly do. And the big talk down in spring meetings was, the format's going to change. Like, what do we want it to change to? And that was one of the changes, Ben, obviously, like changing the seeding process. But it's like now, okay, let's get to 16 teams. And for me, I'm in favor of going, hey, 5 automatic qualifiers if you win your conference. I am all for that because winning your conference should mean something. Like, you should get in there. Yeah. And then 11 at-larges. I do not need 4 bids automatically to the SEC, 4 to the Big Ten. I just don't need that. I need the 11 best teams after the 5 champion. And look, let's go back to a system that all 3 of us won a national championship in, the BCS system. Let's go to something like that because in college baseball and softball, we have what? We always talk about RPI. What do we talk about in basketball season? We got KenPom, we got net ratings, right? Mm-hmm. We got all these rankings, all these numbers, all these analytics. We can do something similar in football, and we kind of did with the BCS. So for me, let's get the 11 best after the champions, and no matter what conference they're in, let's put them in.
So one thing, I don't disagree with you. The 5 plus 11 feels the most merit-based. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to go back to the algorithm. I've been saying this a bunch recently. Like there is so much. The FPI for ESPN came out last week, and we talked to Bill Connolly a lot, who does SP Plus. All these data metrics. A pastor said this to us. It might have been a year or more ago. Pastor said, our kids don't need us today anymore for any kind of information. If our kids want to know how to clean a carburetor or build a nuclear bomb, that's all available on the internet very easily. But what our kids need us is interpretation. And then the same way with data, we've got so much, we can find out any data point on any team at the snap of a finger. It's the analysis of that data. And an algorithm that is, the KPIs, the FPIs, the SP plus, these things are algorithms that are only as good as the formulas that you put into it that might be weighted. One team or one guy thinks that third down percentage is weighted higher than red zone efficiency. And so I want to have humans be involved in the analysis all the way till the end. That eye test matters to me. And I'm not saying only ball players or coaches can be the people to do it. There's plenty of people that have never stepped foot on a field that know how to analyze football. The BCS era, remember, we went bananas. The sporting public went bananas because we can't have just computers making this decision. Computers can't watch football. So I want to make the people in the room, the committee, maybe you could make that more transparent. You could make a C-SPAN and live stream that process. I want the humans in the building. 1, because I think the human eye is necessary. And 2, I think the biases that you can never get away from. And 8 years into radio, I've learned you're not going to eliminate all bias. Can I be objective towards my team? Can you be objective towards your team? Absolutely. But your lived experience gives you a little different worldview. And that's part of college football's charm, is some of the unreasonable and the human foible nature of it all.
I think you said it best. As long as people have transparency in anything, especially with this, I think we can all at least get on board with it. Like, you make a decision, I disagree with you, whatever it is, at least I know why. You're not locked in a room for hours, and then you'll just come and tell us and we have to accept it. But I think we can all agree that there's not a perfect system, whether you use algorithms, computers, people, whatever it is. There's going to be people that get pissed off. There's going to be arguments made against. I think all we can hope for as fans of college football is that there's improvement. We want to see the most deserving, and we want to see the best. How do you figure out that combination? So there's never a perfect situation. So
no, there's not. But I mean, the transparency they are talking about, I think that would help. I always talk about this, and Ben's heard me go off on this. Like, if an official makes a bad call, because if you threw an interception if Ben missed a block, if I fumbled, we had to answer the question after the game.
Accountability.
Why did you do it? What happened? And I would love that from officials. Hey, I called this because I saw this. Kind of the same system. Like, hey, let's get in those rooms. You know how many people, Ben, you do know, would watch that? Like behind the doors, college football playoff committee, and whatever analytics that they're using, and they're going over it and hear those conversations of what those ADs and presidents, former coaches. I would tune into every single minute of that.
You guys, well, hold on. Before I start my story, are you guys on a hard out? Do I have a hard out?
No. Let her rip.
Okay. So do you guys, we were all in locker rooms when the analytics era really washed over the NFL.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember your first interactions with analytics?
No, I do. We brought in somebody from the military into San Diego. Like, it was probably 2012, and it was a former Marine. And they would start to go over different things with us as far as analytics to everything, like pass protections and footwork and like all those things. Yeah, they brought in somebody for sure.
So when this was during the Panthers era for me. So 11, 12, 13. One of those years, we were down in the weight room the day after a Sunday game. We're on a Monday, light workout, jog, go through the corrections from the previous day. John Masco, the O-line coach for the team, came down and he goes, boys, the scouts and the front office people upstairs, they've got this new thing called Pro Football Focus. And they've got this information that these guys have given every one of you jokers a grade.
Yeah.
And the front office people upstairs have given us this info to these coaches, this new data. And they say that we should make this part of our analysis. This should be part of our evaluation of you day in, day out. And what did we do? We're like, bunch of nerds. These guys don't know ball. You're telling me that some guy in the basement of his mom's house is going to be able to say no, whether or not me and so executed a double team, like, well, whatever. Yeah. Well, fast forward real quick. They had it broken down by team. They had us broken down by offensive unit. They had it broke it down a lot of different ways in that era. Now, remember, this was early. They had us broke down by tight ends. Would you like to know who was the number one overall ranked tight end in the entirety of the NFL in that early Pro Football Focus era?
I'm going to say it's your favorite yackle, Ben Hartsock.
This guy. And we were like, whoa, hey, let these guys cook. They're onto something here. Maybe they know something we don't.
Yeah.
Man, we had the biggest laugh at that expense. But see, that's the point, is that there was Pro Football Focus has got an algorithm. ESPN's got an algorithm. On3's got an algorithm. And it's only as good. And for that era, it was early in that formula to where they had misweighted run blocking. I can handle myself at the point of attack. I get these two jumper cables on you, I'm going to shock you, right?
Yeah.
But they had weighted the run block too much and the pass protection too much, but not yet, because I had a 0 on the route running capability or passes received.
Yeah.
So that it was a good example for me to point out these algorithms are good as a tool, but they're not the only tool that we should use.
No, I mean, I'm right there with you. I think it can certainly be something that you use. And just like, look, when I start talking about RPI and net and Kim Poly, all those things, that's not how it's seated, but it is something that they use, and it is heavily involved in the committee, because basketball has a committee, football has a committee, baseball has a committee. All of these sports have committees, but those other sports, have that, hey, their strength of schedule. Hey, Ohio State this year, they had to go, to Oregon, they had to go to Illinois, and they had to go to Michigan. Like, that should mean something. So that's what I'm talking about with having that analytic strength of schedule and having, because that's what we talk about with RPI. It's like, this team's 14th in the country, but they got the third highest RPI because, man, did you see who those son of a guns had to play on the road this year? And that's why I want to use that analytic. Although it's not seeding it like a computer, humans are still doing it, but they have that resource.
Yeah, and to go back to the question of, like, what do we want to change? What do we want to see? I think the SEC was floating this of on championship weekend, conference championship weekend, and having 1 versus 2 obviously being in the championship game, but then those bonus games that we got that during COVID, right? 3 versus 4 would face off, 5 versus 6, kind of a good on good, as in a world where hopefully 2 and justification. I think that's a really interesting and compelling conference championship weekends. Usually just
been on the way out here. You and I got with Bobby yesterday. I'm like, sure is in there. Can I count on you to root for the LSU Tigers in the College World Series?
Yeah, I mean, I'm wanting to go down to Rocco's bar and order a bunch of Jello shots, man. I'm doing my
Thank
part.
you.
I'm ready to chip in.
Look, have RV, will travel. That's all you got to tell me. I know it's busy right now. It's taking care of the pageant, but if it needs to go to Omaha, you let me know.
I know. Every year I say I'm going to get to Omaha. These kids, man, pageant life's just sucking all my free time. It's, pageant life.
Yeah.
I heard owning horses was the most expensive extracurricular a human can have.
Oh, hey, well, now that you're in it, best of luck. I've had the chance and moves on, and you've got more money to spend, sir.
Oh man, Miss America is a whole new.
Can you imagine how many days? How many days you got to rent a
that
hotel?
RV's going to be there for 24 days if we go Miss America. So, hey, best of luck, Ben. You're the man. We appreciate it, sir, and look forward to the next conversation always.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
All right. A decade in the NFL, and my colleague
crushing it, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've fun to have a beer with.
Yes. He had, like I said, you played a decade in the NFL, and he played with Carolina, then also played, and that's where he chose to live. So he's from Ohio, played at Ohio State, longtime Colt, where he lives.
Met his wife.
No, his wife. No, high school
I just
sweetheart.
loved it.
I think.
Fell in love with it. Funny because every parent is. You talk to kid or parents with. Don't let him volleyball. Don't let him do this. That's right there on the.
Oh, that's
Pageant
true.
girl.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't even really know her stance with my little girls in the pageant world. So I'll be interested to see. I'm definitely going to relay this information over though.
For sure.
10 days.
See, but you're. I know we got to take a break, but so I have a daughter. You have multiple daughters, right? And so you might get away with that conversation, like, hey, if we do this once, we're going to do it twice. Like it's really expensive. Like the fact that we only have one daughter and 4 boys. I know that Katie's going to be like, oh, really? Remember that travel baseball fee that we paid?
Right.
Remember that tournament that we went to and spent thousands of dollars staying at a hotel?
I know.
You remember that 7-on-7 tournament we had to travel across the country for and you didn't bat an eye? Yeah. Go buy the dress. It's going to be the whole conversation.
Jake,
yes, man.
Dress, bud.
Yeah.
I mean, fair points. Absolutely. So, yeah, we got to go to break.
Yeah, we do. We got Jared Mitchell in about 10 minutes from now joining us to break down LSU versus Arkansas and really the entire College World Series. We'll do that when we jump back here. It is OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to BoudreauxElectrical.com. BoudreauxElectrical.com. Get that free Generac quote right there, top right corner of the website, because storm season is a-coming. We all know that. And you need to be prepared because it gives you the ultimate peace of mind when you know that if something does happen, immediately what kicks on? Whole home generator. That's right. You
Lights
barely
stay
makes a
on.
little bit of a hum. You don't even hear it, but you know it comes on because, well, you still got air conditioner. You still have lights. Your fridge is still working, and that's what you're going to get with Boudreaux's. More power, more protection. Boudreaux'Electrical.com.
Gulf of America is going to be heating up in about a month and a half. So if you got a entire freezer full of that deer you shot last year, and you don't want that to be in jeopardy, nothing worse than some spoiled meat when your power goes down for a couple of days. Boudreaux'Electrical.com, 985-397-1562.
Baton Rouge is home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
We'll do it all, everything on our own.
2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn, Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
You know, I love...
Bring the heat with this one.
I love my R&B Thursdays. We might have Dawson Creek Tuesdays here.
I'm going to have to really go to the well on that one.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
I don't know.
Flynn's got you too. Don't let this man try to be too cool, okay?
No.
Let me tell you something. I
don't think he's cool at all.
I have, listen, that's a great point. I've got vivid memories of West Campus apartment. It was Kyle Williams, Matt Flynn, Peter Dykowski on the top floor, me, Luke Sanders, Craig Stelz in the middle floor. And I would go up to their apartment, and we would watch reruns of Dawson's Creek on TBS.
9 to 10
Yeah.
every morning. It was our
Like-
stories.
It was our stories.
Yeah.
We were getting, getting back from workouts, about to go to class, relax. We went to class because we had to. And a little Dawson's Creek.
Did we?
If I just lay.
Went to class when we knew we had to go to class. That is a art. When you had a class checker and you knew how to be checked into class, but also the right door to sneak out of said class and avoid the class checker. Look, I'm not saying that school wasn't important. It was. I graduated with honors from LSU. All right. But you know when you go to class, Matt, and you know when you don't have to go to class, you know who to ask the right person for notes. And if you're really smart, you get your girlfriend who's going to be your wife to take the same classes as you do.
You know, being a student athlete's a delicate balance.
You're basically
a little bit delicate,
an employee of the university, and you happen to go to school as well. Back then, like, I felt like, do I work for LSU?
Yeah, I think my kids are actually in the car, so I'm not going to, like, really give the stories. We'll wait till hour 3 on that one.
Hey, Flynn children, if you want the full rundown on your father, I got you. You let me know. Huck.
School.
When I see you. No, that's what I'm saying. No, it is. I'm saying that. School is important. But there is a way.
Until you get to college.
There is a way when you're in college to make sure you're doing all the right things, but also you don't have to be there every single day.
You just got to take care of your business. You know?
Exactly.
Got to take care of that business.
Dude, let me tell you, when me and Stelz went into Ted White's office, who was, our academic counselor.
The man.
He was the man. Was he in like Major League or Angels in the Outfield? He was an extra in one of those movies. Anyways, we go into Ted's office, and he's like, hey, guys, you're a freshman. You got to go to study hall. And our schedule was brutal. So going to study hall from 7 to 9 at night after you finish practice and all that, like, it was miserable. It is what it is. It was terrible just because you didn't get home till like 9:30. All right. He's like, but if you two goofballs make over a 3.25 your first semester, I'm never going to see you again unless you really mess up. Your first semester on campus, if you make over a 3.25, you're done. That's all I had to hear.
Yeah, they stopped class checking you. At least when we were, I think the older we got, the more.
And you didn't have to go to study hall.
Yeah, you had to go to study hall. If you take care of your business, you got to move off campus after a year or two.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Yeah,
so that was a big deal.
That was tied into it, yeah.
So again, you got to start out strong. Fool them early.
You. Exactly.
That's right.
You fool them.
Fool them early.
Early, and then you continue to trick them along the way, and then you graduate with honors.
Yep.
Or general studies degree.
That was one of the biggest, like when you look at regrets, that was one of the biggest ones I have because I went into college not really knowing what I wanted to study. I knew I wanted to play football. If I would have enjoyed and been into the classes, it would have been a lot different stories. But I was, I was taking classes with 25 other football players.
Yeah.
Then that was it. You get it.
I know we got to go break. We got a guy, Jared Mitchell, set to join us. There's a lot of classes I have with not only football, but Big Baby Davis, Tyrus Thomas.
Oh, yeah. Football, basketball. We were all intermingled.
Baseball kind of did their own thing. Baseball didn't hang out with us. Or basketball. Football and basketball hung out. Baseball guys, they did their own thing. They didn't want to hang out with us.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We alphaed them a little too much.
It is funny though, I had a math minor in college. Math is kind of my thing. English, certainly not my thing, but math was. I didn't see many athletes in that class, in those math classes I was taking. Not a lot of athletes.
Yeah, that winter session class I talked about last week. You got to shove a whole semester into 2 weeks. I was the only athlete in that one.
Oh, I bet you were. All right, we are going to step
away.
School is
cool, kids.
Very
cool.
cool.
Is cool.
It is very. I mean, look, we didn't say. I didn't say anything bad. What did we say that was bad?
Nothing. We spoke truthisms.
All
Drop some knowledge.
We are going to go to break. When we come back, Jared Mitchell, LSU legend, SEC Network, will join us right here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All All right, go to pelicanroof.com. Pelicanroof.com is the website. I know Matt's going to tell you about the financing options that they have over at Pelican Roof, but I'm going to tell you about the instant quote tool that they have right there, top right corner of the website. Go ahead, they get a lay of the land, an outline of your roof at your home, at your business, and kind of tell you exactly what it is going to cost as far as like the quote, right? You're going to get the quote based off your roof outline. They're going to come out. They're going to do great work. I told you about my experience in my neighborhood, just clean work as well. And you can go to the website, pelicanroof.com, in Baton Rouge, in Lafayette. Remember, they are in both communities right there, strong in the communities, pelicanroof.com.
Yeah, a new roof is a big deal, right? They got to come out there. It's one of the more important things in your home. So check them out with their financing. It's a big push for them right now. They have 0% interest for up to 21 months on their financing. Call them today, see how they can help you. 337-703-4515.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972.
From the locker room to the airwaves, it's Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
All right, and welcome back in. OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Going to go now to one of our former teammates, now crushing it on the SEC network. Mr. Jared Mitchell joins the show now. Jay Mitch, how you doing, sir? Always a pleasure.
I'm feeling great. How you boys doing, man? How y'all living?
We are doing fantastic. Great, hey, how about this? A week into doing the show, Flynn showed up 7 days in a row, so shout out to Flynn. But, Jay Mitch, he's about to go out of town for like a week.
Hey, Hey, we all wish we could be Matt Flynn.
I
Listen,
know.
so like, do what he does.
Jared,
It is what it
7
is.
days is a lot. I need a break, bud.
Hey, listen, I'm used to us being like in this kind of setting, but like we all used to have to shut up and like just let Matt talk. Like so, like it's a little different.
Yes,
life was
exactly.
much better.
We're in the huddle. He's like, "Shut up, you peasants! Let me talk." And he tries to do the same thing here, Jay Mitch. Man, I am so happy for you. You're crushing it on the SEC network. Love seeing our LSU brethren on there, even though you have to put up with part-time Peter Burns. We apologize for that portion of it. But, man, love seeing you on there. And how are you going to take in Omaha? Like, do you know, are you going to be in studio for that?
No, so I'm going to be home for that. Depends. I'm thinking about going up there on the back half. In 23, we went up there for like the first 5 days, which happened to be LSU's like first 2 games.
Yeah.
Which was great. Like now I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going up there the first half of this thing. So like past the weekend, I'm thinking about going up there for like the back half or whatever else we can kind of get through at that point.
Yeah, hey, it's going to be a tough opening matchup. Now, it's funny because it's like the toughest matchup possible for both teams, for Arkansas, for LSU when you look at the field. But it is a team, Jay Mitch, that you had a series with earlier. You do take 2 of 3 there. Like, does that give you any kind of, mental edge over Arkansas, like knowing that you did take the series from them, even though it was in Baton Rouge? Like, is that something you can take, or is it almost like a complete reset because these teams are different now?
Yeah, I think you take it, and the reasons why you take it too. Listen, they played them, I want to say in early May, right? Like it wasn't that long ago. It was in the back half of the SEC schedule. And I think at the time, Arkansas was rolling. They were playing really well. They had just swept Texas, I believe, a week or 2 weeks before that.
Yeah.
And you got their best shot. Like they played well against you, and you still beat them, and you had a chance to sweep going into Sunday and into that game as well. So I do think that's something that you could kind of take that mental edge over them. Obviously, you're not playing in Baton Rouge this time, so that's a little bit different for both teams. But with that being said, like you're going to get, I would imagine, like I can't see it happening any other way, but I would imagine you're probably going to get Zach Root game 1. Yeah. Although Arkansas did throw Gage Wood in that last game that they played, and they only threw him for like 48 pitches. So I'm wondering why at that point they had gotten a big lead. I'm wondering why they did that at that point. But I would imagine it's going to be Zach Root. But this is a game where, like, man, I think at this time of the year, like I truly think at this time of the year, it is essential for your offensive players to perform. That you stars kind of got to show up on that side of the ball, because think about like the pressure points, if you will, in playing in a super regional and or playing in Omaha, where I would much rather that pressure, if you will, be spread out among 9 bats in the lineup than for it to be all on my pitcher having to keep teams at bay at 1 to 2 to 3 runs. So, like, I think it's important that the bats show up at this time of the year. That way you give some room for mistake and error, and you allow the pitcher to kind of settle in that much easier.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like the bats are heating up and are pretty hot right now. So I think as LSU fans, we're feeling pretty good about it. Hey, Jay Mitch, I want to ask you a question that we actually got asked in our audience chat earlier in the day. Well, first of all, congrats on the success, dude. You're killing it. Love watching you out there. But we got to ask earlier, like when teams get to Omaha and the College World Series start, do you think that they should be reseeded?
So for me, not Omaha. Here's where I have a problem at when it comes to that entire tournament. I do think, like, as easy as things get fixed in football when the noise gets loud, I think if the same noise was around college baseball, things would get fixed. So you play out a 56-game schedule, and then they go ahead and seed regional host sites, but they give them to what is called the top 16 national seeds. So when you're in that situation, why on earth are you conceding home field advantage when teams have to come to you? So if I'm the number 1 team in a regional and there's 4, right? The higher seed should always be the home team.
Yep.
So when you get to what was LSU's a Game 7 win all, Game 7 in your own regional, and you're playing the number 4 seed, number 3 seed, number 2, it doesn't matter. Why is LSU the away team?
Right.
We played all season for this. This is why you gave me the home site, because I'm the better team. So I should be getting home field advantage at its truest form in that situation. And then same thing goes for the super regional. I got this spot based off of how we performed throughout the year.
Right.
So why on earth are we switching home and away? That doesn't make any sense to me, right? Like that's crazy to me. And I think that's the kind of things I think I'm just like, that doesn't I get what you're trying to do, but then we just go ahead and why don't we just go play at a neutral site then if that's what we're going to do?
Yeah, I'm with you there because like the rule in the tiebreak, it's like, okay, which team hasn't been the home team? Like whichever team hasn't been that, like you're going to get it in the regional play. And look, we know like that could have cost you in regional play. Like you're sitting there game number 7 and you're the away team. And sure, you get your own dugout and locker room, but still like it matters who has the final 3 outs there. It did get kind of loud though. So maybe Jay Mitch, that is something that maybe might get changed.
I hope so. I really think they need to change that. I just think, like I said, Game 7, I get it, man. Like you get your own crowd, so like that part of it doesn't really go away.
Yeah.
But think about football. If we're going into an overtime, everybody wants the chance to pick to play defense first and know what you got to do.
Right.
No one's truly choosing in. I want to do it first and not have to know what I have to do. Like that just that's the case. No one would ever do that. So like that's kind of where I'm at with that whole situation.
No, it's a good analogy. I like that one there. Hey, I did want to ask you though, because you've done it all, football and baseball. So you've gone through different grinds of, playing an SEC championship game and then a BCS national championship game on the football side of thing. But Omaha's a different beast. Like Omaha, if you're there and you go win a national championship, you're there for a long time. Like, what is the most difficult part about that grind? Like when you go, you don't really know how long you're going to be there. And then if you do win that national championship again, like mentally, I know physically as well, like you have to be exhausted by the end of that run. What's that like going through the totality of Omaha?
Yeah, there's a couple things. The first thing you point at too is it's a huge point, right? Like if you win from start to finish, you're pretty much there for like a little bit over 2 weeks, I believe, which a lot of people don't realize. Like that's a long time to be like completely away from the house, to be on the road and like not be in your quote unquote routine, right? Like it's a good while to be that situation. There's also like when you get there, even compared to SEC stadiums, this is the first time you're probably a lot of those guys are playing with like a second deck. Now I know it was obviously LSU went, well, not even this year because they played in Frisco, but like in the past they played in the Shriners Classic in Houston where you're finally playing with a second deck of stadium. Like that's a different view when you're on the field as well. Like finding the ball, continuing to keep finding the ball in the outfield, that's something completely different. So like that's something about it too. But I also think the suspense and the drama of postseason baseball over the course of 2 weeks like that, once again, it becomes a draining thing. Now it's great. It's a great feel, but like when the game's over, it becomes you come so far down because it's the same thing like in football, man. Like you playing one game a week, it's tough. But imagine like having not just physically, emotionally having to play like 3 games in 1 week. That's tough. Right. And I think all those things combined and being able to stay disciplined, focus, and like on that like short and narrow for that, it's tough to do, and it makes it hard. And I think the best teams kind of obviously end up being in the end of it because there's a lot of elements in terms of staying focused that you have to do.
One of the things that for LSU that they've struggled against, if we get into the matchup against Arkansas, you mentioned like Newt might be the starting pitcher there. Lefties have given LSU some trouble like in the past. And so like, I wonder how much of that goes into all these different, decisions. And like Anthony Ianson had a big day against Arkansas in the regular season, like all the little minute changes in the lineup. That's going to be fascinating to kind of play out there because like, this is your one opportunity. And so like, what do you think LSU is going to do as far as what they do on the mound?
So I would imagine it's probably going to be lefty-lefty matchup in that game one. I think Zach Root's going to throw for them, and I'm pretty sure Cade's going to throw for LSU at that point. I think it's imperative. If you remember, go back to the Super Regional game one, they faced a lefty from – why am I forgetting the name? They faced a lefty from the team they just played, West Virginia.
West Virginia, yeah.
And his plan in that game was he really wanted to bust all of the hitters in, particularly the right-handed hitters. And – very early on in the game, you could see LSU kind of made the adjustment and understood, okay, if this is what you're going to do, we're just going to really get on top of the plate. We're not going to give you room for error off the plate inside. And if you miss over the plate, we hammer you, right? And that's kind of where they went. And they were able to execute that game plan like to a T. There was 8 walks. I think there was 5 hit batters, and really 3 swings turned into 11 runs, right? So, like, I think it's going to be imperative for them if they face Zach Root in that game where I would expect him to at some level neutralize the left-handed bats in that lineup.
Yeah.
But it's going to take guys like Barrett Jones and Stephen Milam from the right side. Obviously, it's a switch hitter from the right side. It's going to take guys like Daniel Dickinson. It's going to take guys like Ethan Fry. Those guys, Luis Hernandez, those guys in the lineup, I am really interested to see how they're able to fare against them, because I do think if you're able to put runners on and you're able to push some across, it makes it tough. And guys we got 2 weekends, back-to-back weekends, if you think about it, the regionals and the super regionals, where the 1 and 2 ace that we have, the 1A, 1B, however you want to look at it, those guys both went 7+ in the regionals, and it was shutdown baseball.
Yeah.
And then when you got to the super regional, I'm not saying that they threw bad at all, because it felt like, to me, the mark of what an old school starting pitcher was, where it doesn't matter what the other team is scoring, you're always keeping us in the game. So if that calls for, we scored 16, I believe, in game 1, if that calls for you going 7 and giving up 7 runs, so be it. Because when you leave, we still have a big lead, or we're still within striking range of winning the ball game. That used to be what the mark of a really good starting pitcher was, is every time they got out there, no matter what the score was, they gave you a chance to win the game. And you saw both sides of that. So I do think, like, those 2 guys are, and then obviously having Cade in game 1, he's going to give you a chance to win. Now it's, can you do the little things to push those runs across that you need to win the ball game?
Jared, I'm always interested in diving into the mindset of an athlete, and yourself being a former really accomplished dual sport athlete. In football, when you beat somebody, they always say it's hard to beat somebody twice, a good team twice. So you beat somebody in the regular season. Okay, now all of a sudden I got to go play them in a conference championship game or a bowl game or whatever it is. So the adage is, man, it's always hard to beat someone twice. Well, LSU swept Arkansas.
No, 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. That's right. They won the series. So is it the same kind of mindset going into when you have to play somebody again that you've already beaten in the same season, knowing that they're a really good team? Is it kind of the same mental block, mental barrier, hurdle that you have to overcome that you did in the football world?
I think it can and it can't be, and there's 2 different ways of it being that way. I think if it is, go back to Friday night, LSU-Arkansas. If you're able to get to Zach Root early, get some runners on, push some runs across, I do think in his mind at that point, it's, maybe I don't have my best stuff, or it's they're making it tough for me again. And then in that same mindset, it's if you throw Cade and he throws well, and the next guy you bring out is somebody that maybe got him last time as well, I think that same mindset starts to creep. But I do think it changes in baseball in terms of, let's say Zach Root goes out there and he shoves, and then they bring out somebody that maybe LSU didn't hit well before. That's where I think it kind of changes, because now that dugout would feel like, oh, this is not the same. We look different this time, right? Like, we're a different team. We got a different performance. But when things kind of start going the way they went before, I do think teams start looking at it like, all right, here we go,
Mm-hmm. Right.
All right, there he is, our guy, Jared Mitchell, good enough to join us here. Great former teammate of ours, also a star at LSU baseball, SEC Network star now. Jay Mitch, we appreciate the time as always, man. If you do make it up to Omaha, enjoy the experience and just, call us. Let us know the vibe.
Yeah. I give y'all a call. I may FaceTime y'all in and show you what's going on over there.
Y'all never forget either. 143 yards, 2007.
I know.
Right there, Jay Mitch.
Absolutely, man. Hey, you're the man. We appreciate it. Hey, if he just gave you a better ball, you'd have had at least 200 yards.
No doubt.
I don't think there's any question about that.
I did throw a couple behind you.
I did say it. I appreciate everything you did for me, Matt. I didn't say it.
That's right. Jay Mitch, we appreciate it, brother.
All right, boys. Take it easy.
All right, there he is, Jared Mitchell, good enough to join us here. Get the guy a better ball, man.
I know, I threw a couple behind him.
Golly.
That's on me.
He also, there was a game he missed a hot route. I remember that conversation. Was he a freshman? Young.
Yeah, he's young.
He was young.
Redshirt freshman.
Maybe a redshirt freshman. Maybe so. It didn't really matter because we got to go to break. More OTB when we come back.
Off the bench.
You know what's better than going to Omaha, Matt?
I do. I know what's better.
Being in Omaha with the Dos Equis.
Lots of Dos Equis.
Responsibly. Tailgate.
Ooh.
In the parking lot.
Chilling out
about
there
to
with
watch
friends,
LSU versus Arkansas.
And some lawn chairs.
And we're not sharing those Dos Equis with the pigs.
Oh, no.
These are our Dos Equis.
Arkansas fans probably drinking trash beer.
Yeah, probably like just, that one that you go in there and you buy the flat, and it's like, hey, that will be $4. You're getting $4 beer. You're not getting an ice cold Dos Equis.
Guess what type of beer I'm about to be having?
I hate you.
Little vacation beer, little airport beer, maybe a beach beer. Vacation, all right? So,
we'll
World
have a studio
Series
beer.
If you're planning on deleting some beers responsibly, go for Dos. Go pick up some Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
From players to legends, Hester and Flynn break down LSU football like only champions can.
All right, and welcome back in. OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge here on this Tuesday morning.
Players to legends. Legendary time management.
Sure.
Here.
I mean, I think Les is a legend.
Did I say he wasn't?
I'm just saying, that's where we got it from. I mean, look, we've had like great guests at the 30.
Whoops.
I'm not even saying we'll get better because we probably won't.
Actually, we went pretty long before the guests came on.
That's true.
That's on us, people. Yeah. We'll get better.
Yeah. Let me hit the chest.
Shout out to my guy Jamie in the chat. Said I was doing good for 2 weeks.
Until you leave us for
Shout
3
out.
days. Nick Underhill, New Orleans.football. When we jump back on OTB.
Off the bench.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle.
And over our clients come first.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, June 10th. Today in Baton Rouge, you could expect rainy skies with a high of 86. And hour 3 of today's show, Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football hops on, and our own Matt Flynn breaks down the Rocco's Jello shot competition. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. And watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
From carrying each other to a natty to carrying each other on the air.
Flynn is back to throw from the end zone.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio. It's Off the Bench.
Sports! All right, and welcome back in. Hour number 3, OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. The timing was better of that one.
I was going to say,
you gotta switch
I feel
it
like
up.
yesterday we discouraged you. You didn't say it the entire show until just now.
Yeah, well, you called me annoying yesterday.
Well, I think we hurt his feelings.
I know.
We hurt his feelings
Or
yesterday.
I felt bad.
Roger was like, get this dude off.
Who is
I felt bad
this
hour 1 and hour 2. I was
It's
like,
all right. It's all right. That one was better. That
Yeah.
one was better.
Great
And
job.
speaking of better, we are going to catch up with the best right now. Our guy, Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football, joins us now. Nick, how are you doing, sir?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
Doing fantastic, and I'm sure you're pretty excited. Not like Christmas morning excited. That's like training camp. But, maybe like birthday excited because you got a little mini camp for the Saints?
Yeah, no, starts today. At least 2 practices. They scheduled 2 with like fans out there. I don't know if they'll do all 3 or not, but yeah, look, I think this is it's an exciting time with this team at least. Like I've never really been more interested to go out and see practices. By August that might no longer be the case because they might reveal themselves as not being a very good team. But right now, like the gift's still wrapped up. It hasn't been opened up.
Right.
You aren't disappointed. Your mom didn't get you the Team Jordans instead of the Jordan 3s. You got the right Jordans, not the Foot Locker on the shelf ones. Like that could be in the box. So until you find out, it's exciting, man. I'm eager to see what these guys look like.
Yeah, I am as well. There's so many different intriguing position battles. Certainly the quarterback's going to lead the charge there, but what the offensive line is going to look like. But I want to ask you about the running back position because, Nick, it does seem like they are in the market for a veteran running back. I mean, they've kind of been tied loosely to some of these running backs. I know Nick Chubb just went to the Texans, but Cam Akers is somebody the Saints are interested in at least, and it feels like they want to bring in another veteran running back, even though they have AK and Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the roster already.
It's interesting because it's a position that could be crowded if some of these maybes hit, and if none of the maybes hit, it's a borderline disaster.
Yeah.
Clyde's a huge maybe still. I think there's a lot of talent, but he was available end of last season. And, when a guy's out there on the open market in November, December, there's usually a reason for it. Talent's obvious, was a first-round pick, but it's been a few years since we've seen him kind of capitalize on that for a multitude of reasons. And, hopefully all that's, set up to where he can show it consistently now. So he could be boomer bust. Kendray's very boomer bust. I still can't get my head around the idea that someone can't figure out 8 plays that he can execute consistently. Because even when he doesn't know exactly what he's supposed to be doing, we've seen him break off 9-yard runs like it's nothing. But he's very boomer bust.
Yeah.
Devin Neal, a late round pick, theoretically should be good, but we don't know. I haven't seen anything out there. Marcus Yarns, the UDFA, has looked really good in these practices, but he's a UDFA and we haven't seen him take a hit yet. If all those things go sideways, Alvin feels like the one constant, but at some point he is going to look like a 30-year-old running back. I don't know when that happens, when it hits, but assuming he's fine, one of these things could hit and you have a decent room, 2 could hit, you have a great room, or they could all bust and maybe you need Cam Akers and he's trying out this week at minicamp. And, he's had 2 torn Achilles, wasn't very good last year, but maybe the time and distance from that second torn Achilles, allows him to kind of tap into more what he was at the beginning of his career. He bounced back really, really good from the first Achilles tear. Second one's taking a little bit more time, but look, I think it makes sense to look at these guys, and even if let's say all the maybes hit, if you're building on a strength and you're picking the best 3 or whatever at the end of it, that's not a bad spot to be either.
All right, Nick. I'm always going to lead my questions and start off with quarterbacks because we all know the quarterback's the most important person in the room. And the Saints, we have a full-out, bona fide QB1 battle. So going into minicamp, is there really anything else that you can pull from minicamp that you didn't pull from OTAs? We had Scott Tolzien on the show last week, and he was talking – really about this isn't really evaluating for a starter. This is about getting reps, because we don't have pads on. Training camp, that's when the real competition. But, of course, that's a little bit of coach's talk. But what can a coach in a mini camp setting see that we kind of haven't already got from OTAs?
For me, I'm really just going out here, and I just don't want to see one of them look worse than what we've seen. I just want to see forward progress or holding steady. I feel decent about where these guys are at right now. But the thing is we go out there and it's limited exposure, and we're seeing like very short practices. They're practicing indoors. It's from what I've heard, the practice they've allowed us to see each week is a lot more condensed and controlled than the other ones. Like we go in, we see about 7-8 passes from each quarterback, and then we're out of there. And it could just happen to be that on we saw Spencer Rattler's 3 best days, and there's a positive viewpoint there. I think seeing it in this setting, kind of outside, people screaming, a little more adrenaline, got the heat going, some sweat on the football, whatever, all that stuff. Yeah. Got the actual vets out there now. Like, I think that plays a part in these guys completing. I want to say it's like 92% of the passes that we've seen thrown in these 7-on-7s. Like now you got Tyron out there. DeMario's going to be out there every day. Like when you got the full secondary, does it look a little bit different? And I hope it does look a little bit different, but I don't want it to look discouraging different. And honestly, I'm just looking for continued momentum. And, I want to be able to go into this break believing that, if X and Y happen, then Z is possible. And a step back would feel kind of devastating. So I just want to see a little bit of that forward momentum, some confidence building. And I think in the case of Shuck, it's just like incremental improvements. Like, hey, he was slow on this play yesterday to today. He's seeing it a little bit quicker. Hey, he's doing this in rhythm. He's just kind of picking up the details. I think from the sideline, for a non-Matt Flynn observer, like an idiot like me, like that might be hard to piece together, every single time. But I think from a coaching standpoint, that's probably really all they're looking for right now is like little pieces of growth, seeing improvement with the reps, and then, just having a menu of things that you can hand to both these guys at the end and say like, hey, look, these are the good things, these are the bad things, like clean that up for camp. And then I just want to see Shuck really, and Rattler too, come back, look a little bit different at start of training camp.
Yeah, and I think it's a good point because it's in competitions like this, it's really easy to overreact. When I was in a competition in Seattle with Russell, it's like I had practices where, I couldn't miss, dicing it up, throwing like 10 touchdowns in a practice, right? Yeah. And the other guy would have a couple batted down at the line of scrimmage that got picked, whatever it was, and things that like just look bad from an observer standpoint. So it's easy to overreact from like a reporting standpoint like that, but you have a good outlook on it. I know that's what kind of Tolzien was talking about. Like we take the whole scope into a decision-making process, and what we're seeing one practice is just like one little tiny aspect of it. But one part from like a coaching and on a competition like this that's difficult to manage is how each guy gets reps. So every team can handle a competition differently from a number standpoint of reps. How are they trading off between first and second team reps? Is it by day? Is it series by series? Is it, one rep by one rep? How are they trading that off right now?
So, first, great. Like sometimes I'm embarrassed of myself about how we talk about these like early practices because you're waiting 6 months and you go out and you see an OTA and you dissect 8 passes like, it's the game-winning drive in the Super Bowl because like it's all you have to talk about, and then you have that just for a full week. And when it's a quarterback scope, like it's embarrassing when you look back on it. But look, that's all we can really do.
For sure.
As far as how they're splitting it up, each day it's been Rattler. He's been first team, and every single series I think that we've seen, barring one, has been him going first. We saw Shuck in the last practice. Rattler took the first team reps the first time, then it was Shuck, and then they do special teams, they come back, and then Shuck went first the next time. Now, like a few times when Shuck's been out there with the second team, some of the starters from the first team defense have cycled in at some of the spots, and it's kind of like a half squat or whatever. But for the most part, it's been Rattler running it. And the first 2 practices we were out there, we didn't see Hunter Deckers throw at all. He got a series in this last OTA, so. I'm interested to kind of see what he can do too. I think there's a significant gap between him and the other guys, but like his athletic profile is like really, really interesting to me. And I'm kind of curious to see if he can be good enough to maybe make the practice squad. If I had to guess right now, I don't think he pushes Jake Haener. I think there's a pretty decent golf right there, but over time maybe it closes a little bit. But yeah. It looks like Rattler's in the lead now. That's the thing I think I'm most interested in going into training camp is just to really see how they handle this battle. Like, do they call it early if one guy's like really went in? If it's Shuck, do they call it early and go with them, or Do you feel like you owe it to the process to run it all the way through the preseason and kind of, cycle it through and just see where it's at the end? I don't know. I don't know what the right way to do it is. I kind of lean towards settling it, but I could see going through the whole thing too if it stays, close. And, just at the end, I just want to feel like somebody won it instead of somebody like getting it by default or somebody losing it. Like, I just want one of these two guys to like really look like they've claimed the job.
Catching up with Nick Underhill, New Orleans football here on OTB. I do want to go to the other side of the football. I know that a lot of questions for the Saints are going to be on offense, but there's a defensive player that just a year ago you traded up in the second round from 45 to 41 to select Kool-Aid McKinstry, and I feel like we don't hear a lot about Kool-Aid. What's the plan for him moving forward? I know he's changed jersey numbers. I feel like that's the only news that I've really seen because, Nick, as you know, like if you're a second-round pick, like you got to be a dude. But certainly if they trade up 45 to 41, like that expectation goes up even more so. So what's the outlook for Kool-Aid McKinstry heading into his second year?
That's the thing I really want to see here, man. Like it's felt a little bit too easy for these quarterbacks, and it's 7-on-7s. Like they're going to complete more passes in that setting than anything else. But like it's been automatic, and you're talking about a rookie and a 5th-round pick. Like there should be a little bit more resistance. So I just want to see a couple plays get made out here. Theoretically, like I think the system should suit Kool-Aid pretty well. Like Staley likes to run a lot of the same stuff that Saban runs at Alabama, and he was good there. Like he got picked in the second round out of that system. So, he should be more comfortable in what he's doing, some of the pattern match stuff and all that. Like, I think it should fit for him, but yeah, I mean, I thought the rookie year, was just okay. I think he's somebody that really needs to take a big leap this year. And I think he's kind of like quietly one of the more important guys on the team right now. Cause like if he solidifies one of those positions, you at least have an answer. If he doesn't, and then Alontae Taylor, like he's a free agent at the end of this season, you might have nothing at cornerback. And like, how are you going to address those needs? You don't want to be doing it in free agency. You don't want to be in a position where you have to be the team that pays Jair Alexander, who, 7 games last year, 7 games a year before that. I don't think you want to be in a position of weakness at 2 cornerback spots because, like, how do you address that? And then, like, what if your quarterback isn't good? And where's the wide receiver coming in to go behind Chris Olave if you don't want to pay him? Where are you getting your pass rushers? Like, you're talking like 5-6 premium positions that you'd have to address. Like, granted, you have cap space, but you don't want to buy your way out of that. Like, you want to be able to do it from a position of strength. So him hitting, I think, is like quietly one of the bigger storylines of the season.
All right, Nick, give me I'm interested in Kellen Moore, how his coaching style, how he presents himself on the field. Every coach is different, right? Every coach is different. Some of them are yellow, some of them are laid back, some of them are teachers. They're just all different. So tell me about Kellen Moore, like on the practice field. What's his demeanor? How does he interact with the players? Because he's probably not that much older than a lot of the guys. He might be younger than some of the guys that are on the team. But like, so talk to us about how that is, how he's just been perceived, and the guys have really taken to Kellen so far.
Yeah, he seems really smart, and that's the thing you kind of hear from everyone. Like when they're talking football, like they really like him. And I think one of the guys was telling me the other day, like one of the things that he's done that from the meeting perspective, player perspective, that's smart is just kind of tying himself to Nussmeier, because you kind of get some of that like younger, new school, more relaxed, relatable approach from him, and then he knows how to pass it off to Nussmeier, and Nussmeier can be kind of more like the old school, uncle who tells you how it is type guy. And, I think that blend has come together really well. I think he kind of presents exactly how you would think he presents. Like he is just kind of the same all the time when you look at him. On the field kind of carries himself the same way that when you look at him, like you get kind of what you expect. But what was kind of revealing for me is LSU had that coaching clinic, and he spoke on it. And, I bought a ticket, threw on a hat and some glasses, sat in the back, went incognito just to kind of see how he carries himself. Yeah, Coach Nick. And I thought I was undercover, and I walk into PJ's, and someone immediately said hi to me. And I was like, all right, well, I'm busted if I go up here. But, like, look, seeing him up on that stage, like, his presence was different than it was kind of eye-opening for me. Like, when he started talking about football, like, there was a little more gusto, a little more, like, bravado, and just the way he explained things for, a regular person, like the way he was breaking it down, it was really understandable. Like he wasn't talking over anyone's head. He very, very much had, a grasp on the concepts, how to explain it, how to teach, how to communicate. And, he kind of, you kind of felt like his shoulders went up a little bit and the chest puffed out a little bit when he was up there in his own element, as opposed to like the media setting. So, I thought that was a good thing to see there. But so far, like, I think the buy-in's really good. They're doing like these, off-field community events, and like they're getting good attendance at those, which is usually a decent sign. It kind of seems like some people are checked in just to like the general philosophy of what he's selling, like beyond football, which I think is, I don't know if it ultimately means anything, but when you're trying to build a culture, it's probably good to have that initial buy-in on kind of everything. And it seems like it's there. I've learned though that June buy-in doesn't necessarily mean anything. There's a lot of buy-in last year, and then by November there wasn't. But you don't want to see people not buying in. So I think he has it right now. And look at some of these vets out here this week, and we'll kind of see how some of that stuff goes. I do find it kind of interesting that the attendance, from the veteran aspect, was a little bit worse in the voluntary part than it was last year, but I could understand some general discouragement when the team is where it is and the quarterback retires out of nowhere. That's probably tough for guys that might be in the last year of their career, last year or two.
What's that attendance?
Just last year, Alvin never does. So like him. Tyron was in and out doing his thing. Cam on that side of the ball, typically, that's something that stands out when you're starting over a little bit. But I was a guy looking at it like it's one of the final years of my career. Like, right. But I don't know. People got off-field responsibilities. They got kids. They got different stuff going on. Don't know why people aren't there. It isn't mandatory, but when you're looking at 3 practices and you're dissecting everything, like those are one of the things that kind of stand out a little bit.
All right, there he is, our guy, Nick Underhill. NewOrleans.football is. Go check it out. Nick, we appreciate it. That was never an option for me, missing that anything.
Let me tell you, Nick's great. Love talking to Nick.
Yeah.
Love listening to him till these last couple of weeks when I've been asking the questions. That last answer he gave us might be, I don't know. I don't know how that's sitting with me right now.
It's a pretty good nugget, though.
But it's a good nugget, but it's a pretty veteran, like, guys with good names too, so it's hard to like jump to a conclusion. But man, that's a. I don't know if it's I don't know if I want to say it's a telling answer, but man, it's not a great answer.
New coach on like every level.
New coach, every
new
level.
Head coach, new coordinator.
Like this, I don't like it.
Well, let's talk about it when we come back. Maybe what it means, your experience with guys missing the workout portion of it, because I've got my own experiences.
Again, it's hard to question those dudes because
it is, and they're like hard-working dudes.
Yeah, you would never question them,
right? But it's still, it is worth a conversation because it is different. Certainly, when he says the year before, it wasn't like that, and so we'll break that down when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
GetGordon.com. Gordon Kernan Injury Attorneys. That is the website. And we always tell you, because it's true, you can do it all right there on the homepage. You can have a chat with a live agent right there on the homepage. You can see what they can do for you in the courtroom. You can see what they've already done for people throughout the state of Louisiana in the courtroom. Speaking of throughout the state of Louisiana, they're always in the community doing something in Shreveport, Monroe, Lake Charles, Lafayette, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, you name it. In Louisiana, they are helping in your local community. At Get Gordon is to handle on all major social media to see exactly what they're doing in your local community. And then you know it is the area code in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Get Gordon and get it done. Car accident,
you
truck accident.
Hey,
you like that?
Hey,
that was catchy.
Hey.
Wrongful death, personal injury. Call them today. See how they can help you. Call the ones we trust. Get on that G team. GetGordon.com, 225-888-8888.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on...
I never knew that everything was falling through, that everyone I knew was waiting on a cue to turn and run when all I needed was the truth. But that's how it's gotta be. It's coming down to nothing more than apathy.
More game than a gumbo pot. Hester and Flynn serve it hot on Off the Bench, Baton Rouge's own championship duo.
God,
what the?
You ruined a great song with that.
More game than a gumbo pot.
This is a great song. My hand over. And then you play the gumbo rejoin?
More game than a gumbo pot.
Game,
what does that even mean?
You saw me getting into the fray.
Game.
Okay.
Maybe I like the fray.
See, I asked the same question.
More than I thought, by the way. I think I like the fray more than I thought I did. If today's any indication.
I think we explained it earlier the best. Like, you are sitting in the back seat in the rain, your parents are driving you to school, and you're just staring out the back window with that rain hitting. Listening to these songs.
Turn it up a little bit. You can talk. Turn it up a little bit. Yeah.
When people, we used to have the CD. I'm, old enough to where I had the CD player, and I was the book, but, the Walkman that you would take on the bus with you when you're on your way to school. Yeah. And, the backpack had, so you could put the headphones through or whatever. Yeah. So, I remember I would have, burned CDs that I would take to school with me with my Walkman, and the fray was definitely on the burned CD. But I'm thinking, you used to, on the bus, try to act like you were in a music video, but the bus was so like rattling your head that you wouldn't be able to.
Did you have the anti-skip CD
if it was
player?
in your backpack, you had the
I don't know if
anti-skip.
I did.
You know what I mean? Like,
Probably,
it's
yeah.
supposed to be anti-skip, but
If
it's
it was
like
in your
I
backpack,
had one that skipped. So I had the big one in my room.
anti-shocks, I believe, what like how they market
if
it.
it skipped, like you had,
Whenever
if it
you
wasn't.
whenever I'd argue with mom about hanging up my clothes or something, I'd go into the room. I'm like, let me put on the emotional music, and I'm mad hanging up the clothes. Like that was me.
Yeah, if it wasn't anti-skip, then it had to be completely flat and level, or it would. So if it's thrown in your
true.
backpack, I mean, can't hide it.
Man, I probably have that somewhere in my.
I need you to find it. That would be a great relic to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah.
All
We got a
My
big
parents
last
probably
30
have it
minutes of this
somewhere.
show. I want to break
Huge.
down what Nick Underhill said
All right, sorry,
a little bit.
Sorry, we can turn off the fray. I was vibing. It's a good vibe.
No, I didn't want to talk about it now.
I'll lower it.
I wanted to
We
listen
can
to the
have
song.
it still.
Yeah, we did. What Nick Underhill said, if you missed it, he was talking about some of the veteran players not being there for voluntary air quotes here, workouts in the off season, and I don't have great experience with this because we typically in the places that I play, we had 100% attendance. Sometimes a guy would miss, a week, maybe if he had something going on, maybe if his contract, whatever. I think Sean Merriman missed a week, here and there. Like Antonio Gates would miss a week here and there, but Antonio Gates is a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Right. And he wouldn't miss just because. Like he'd have something. He'd have something and they'd know beforehand and he was there working out. I'm trying to think of some veteran players. Of course, the quarterback's always going to be there.
Usually, or quarterbacks, if they're older, established, a dude, it's okay.
I never had a quarterback miss a single workout.
If it's an
but
established,
I played with two psychos, and I mean that in the best way possible.
Right. I mean, I was never a part of anybody missing either, and I guess this is a conversation that you have to tread lightly, and you have to preface a lot of things because you do never know a situation. You never know what personally somebody's going through. You don't even know what a coach said to a player. Maybe the coach said, "Yeah, take a couple weeks off, bud." You never know the complete situation. But from an optics standpoint, and we were talking about it at break here, that's something that we haven't heard come out of the camp yet, or the offseason, is that there was lower attendance this year than there was last year. And we're not going to talk names because we talked about the guys that he named right there are dudes. So
hardworking team
dudes. So there's got to be
captains.
something there, right?
Yeah.
But just overall, when your attendance is worse, when you have a brand new head coach, all new staff, all new coordinators, all new everything.
That's the wild part.
2 young quarterbacks, you're building something, and then your attendance is worse than the year before for voluntary off-season workouts.
Right.
That throws a red flag up.
Yeah.
Now, that red flag might have a good reason, but it throws a big red flag. And he said that, and my ears perked up. I was like, that's different. And that's not great.
Yeah.
It doesn't make us feel good. We're trying to be real positive towards you, Saints.
Yeah, it's a big deal for me. I want everybody there. I want everybody there anytime the doors are open. Now, I'm not saying you don't go take a week here if you've already got something planned. And again, the guys that he mentioned are literally team captain, hardworking guys. But I want everybody there. Certainly when there's new. If you got a head coach that is for the Steelers, if you're TJ Watt, you and Mike Tomlin, y'all know each other pretty well.
Right.
Y'all been together for a while.
Right.
If TJ Watt wants to miss a couple of weeks, okay, sure. Or anybody on the Steelers.
I don't think you and I, we're not proclaiming you got to be there. You have to be there every first one in, first one out, blah blah blah. Because there's every situation is treated different. Every person gets treated different.
Yeah.
And if you're a guy, if you're a veteran, you get treated differently than a guy that's a rookie or a second-year guy trying to – just the way of the world. Yeah. That's how the world works.
Yeah,
if you're in a new situation and you got a brand-new coach, and that's a different than another off-season year with an established staff.
Right. Yeah, without
you
question.
weren't trash the year before.
Because you do want to learn – you want to learn the day in, the day out of how that person goes about their business. What is this coach like? What does this coach want me to do? Because I'm a veteran player.
Yeah.
What's he expecting from me in this meeting room? Because look, there's going to be players on this roster that are the same age as like Kellen Moore and Scott Tolzien. There's going to be some that are older, right? But so like they're going to lean on those veteran guys, like Cam Jordan, DeMario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu, to be coaches in the meeting rooms. And you can be like, that's not their responsibility. It's not, but it happens. I was so fortunate my rookie year to learn from one of the best running backs of all time. Like LaDainian Tomlinson taught me so much. Darren Sproles taught me so much. Michael Bennett was a former first-round pick. He ended his career with us, man. He taught me so much. He didn't have to. It's not the responsibility. LT's one of the GOATs. But, like, he took that time. He helped me. He helped Mike Tolbert. And that was so beneficial for us because the running back coach can only do so much. But when you're talking, with one of the greats, which the Saints, DeMario Davis, Cam Jordan, Tyrann Mathieu, those are greats. Right, it's another coach in there, and you can get a lot of those things done. Some of that learning each other, learning expectations in some of these workouts. Even though technically you're not out there on the football field, you're still doing football things.
Young players at that level, I guess you could say at any level, they learn more from their peers than they do at coach, from the nuances of playing the game. Now, of course, the coach's job is to teach you the X and O's, teach you the game plan, teach you the playbook, like how he wants you to operate within their system that they're teaching.
Yeah.
But on actually how to play the game. You're talking about LaDainian, how to read the guard, how to read a different game from the defense. Like the nuances of the game are taught by other players.
Yeah.
Sure. You say you're fortunate. I was fortunate. I learned from one of the best as well.
Yeah.
I became a better quarterback. I was a different quarterback because I went to Green Bay than if I would have gone to the Panthers.
Yeah.
Right?
Felt like a stray to the Panthers. I was going to go Cleveland.
If I went to the Cleveland Browns. Everybody's catching strays.
The Browns need to catch strays. They're terrible. But mistake by the lake.
Yeah. I guess all I'm saying, red flag a little bit for me. On a day that we're trying to be positive.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like this. I'm going on vacation tomorrow.
Right. And like moving forward, I'm going to assume like all those players are going to be there. And again, like,
oh, for sure,
for the players that it is, it's not concerning with who it is because those guys are going to be there. But it is a great time to kind of again learn each.
I'm not calling it like it's just the worth.
You see the comment.
No.
Uh,
6 years, buddy.
Yeah. Very part-time. Like this time of the year, everybody treats it differently. Going to have a different level of respect. Remember Peyton Manning. Very in, but he was young. Have like an elite year, and he was close, like that kind of voluntary workouts, and called him and had it on speakerphone. Like snooze. Something happened, like going on. Like he was to going from a good player to one of the. He wanted that extra throwing session. Again, it's not mandatory, but he knew he was going on. People might take that the wrong way and be like, "Oh, if the sheriff can be here, and he's here." Brandon Stokely, who's in year 7, like everybody should be here.
The leaders, the vets.
All right. Before we did that, I mean, seriously, good way. Go to Elite Training. If you want to sign up for summer camps going right now during the summer, if you want to go, perfect time to do it. But don't forget about the leagues at Elite. NFL Flag. It's through 6. Information is coming your way very, very academybr.com. Flintonomics.
Off the bench.
Buying new, leasing, renting. I tell you about every single day. And no matter what your needs are, for the multiple sedan and a minivan, no matter what you in that rental department, go ahead and rent that vehicle, hop in there, drive to Omaha, and celebrate the Tigers.
Let's go. If you're in the market for a new car, go to their website right now. You can see what they have on the lot. You can check out the inventory, check out all the models, whatever size that you need. Need to haul something, get a Tundra, whatever it is. Put in your current car. See what the resale value is. See what you can get back for a trade-in value. Call them today. See what they can do for you. All-Star Toyota. Did it. 225-433-0105.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Oh, Father, tell me, do we get what we deserve?
2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn. Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
All right, welcome back in OTB. It is now time for me to turn it over for some Flynnonomics.
Did you just make that up?
I did.
I'm trying to think if it's good or not. I like it.
I feel like it's pretty good.
Flynnonomics?
I don't know.
Jello-nomics?
Did you know that Bobby Carpenter is a professor of finance at the Ohio State University?
I actually didn't know I knew he was a professor. Didn't know finance.
He's a finance professor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
How
for
about
him.
that? I mean, what a win for the meatheads.
Good for him. Well,
Yeah.
so I started diving into this yesterday, like on the show, just because I thought it'd be funny to see like what the Jello shots like actually cost, as opposed to like what they sell and the numbers, because like the numbers are astronomical of the amount. Especially, well, I'm thinking about 2023. I know they were down last year because LSU wasn't in it. So we're basing all of this on 2023, like the economics involved on this Jello shot. Like, what does it cost for them, for Rocco's to actually produce that? And then what do they make? So I think y'all were telling me, but a lot of the proceeds are going to charity, right? Is that
there's a portion of it?
There's a big portion, which is
is
awesome.
Yeah.
Like, so what Rocco's has
Or
done and what they did,
food
and I know Jello shots were like a thing there before, but it got blown out of the world in 2023 with LSU because everywhere we go, we drink out every place.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Vanderbilt Stadium.
Yep.
Rocco's and the Jello shot everywhere. I mean, we could go on and on. Like basically any like neutral site game. Like, oh, I was not familiar with your game.
Yeah. Oh, you only brought 30 bottles of everything.
Yeah,
that'll be gone.
If LSU goes to the SEC championship game, like the team hotel bar, they're not ready ever.
All right, so let's take a look at these numbers. Taylor, you got that spreadsheet? Check this bad boy out. Whoo! Did an accounting firm do this? Nope.
No.
Leader
The,
of High did it. All right, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna go down just real quickly. We're gonna go over our cost of goods here to make a Jello shot.
All right.
How it goes. I got a little recipe down there. Thank you, ChatGPT, for giving me that recipe real quickly. So we're looking at our raw materials, our cost of goods, what it costs, to make these things, our cost.
Yep.
So we look at it. We get these Jello packet shots. We got one Jello packet, I believe, makes 16 ounces. One Jello shot is 1 ounce.
Okay.
So you're substituting a lot of the water with vodka.
Right.
I chose vodka here. I know maybe some places are just using like a wheat, like an Everclear type situation, just like a generic wheat alcohol. We want vodka for this, all right?
Okay.
So standard one uses about 1/4 of an ounce of vodka per shot.
Yeah.
Now it depends on if you're making it. If Craig Stelz is making them for a tailgate game, probably full ounce.
Right.
But I think a standard bar's making about 1/4 ounce here. So we got, I think we had needed total Jello boxes that you would get at a grocery store. I think we need 4. This is just for the LSU numbers here. 4,305 boxes for those. You need 67 handles of vodka.
Okay, that's actually
it's not as many because you're only using 1/4 of an ounce, right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Now Rocco's, I don't know what they do. They might be using a 1/2 ounce, so we would
Okay.
double that number.
Right.
Whatever, you get it. So we can get these packaging pretty good. I mean, you're getting these little cups for like 1.2 cents a piece. You're getting the lid for like 1 cent a piece. Then we start looking at the labor. So ChatGPT helped me with this bad boy. We look at these labor costs. All right, so you got this. Boiling water takes around 5 minutes.
Okay.
Mixing the Jello, let's just say it takes 2 minutes.
Right.
Pouring into the cups per batch. You're pouring a bunch of cups, like 10 to 15 minutes. It takes 2 to 4 hours for these things to set, but we're not counting that. We're not going to wait. We're going to make another batch as soon as we're setting these things.
Right.
Now let's see, it's got a reasonable setup here based on pouring speeds. So we're saying that one person in a 7-hour day, which is a normal 8-hour shift, get an hour off to go pee, get some lunch, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
We're going to make about 360 shots per hour per person.
Okay.
Because that's going to go into our COGS. That's going to go into our cost of goods. All right.
Okay.
So total cost of goods for one Jello shot: 7.5 cents for the Jello.
Okay.
4.2 cents for the vodka.
Right.
1.2 cent for cup lids. 1 cent. Labor about 5.5 cents. Now that's going to be the big. That's going to be the big gray area.
Right.
Because you might have a better worker. You might have a little bit less of a worker. So total COGS per shot about 29, almost 30 cents.
Okay.
Now this is using some pretty cheap vodka. This is using
$9.99
a handle.
Yeah.
This can go all over the place.
Yeah, they're not using top shelf.
Yeah, exactly. So of course we got a sell price for $5, right? So we're making it for 30 cents. That includes the labor. What also included a little bit of extra. I put 10.5 cents extra just for if they have to rent a reefer cooler, a big refrigeration, maybe some extra bowls, some whisks.
Right.
So just whatever. I just put $10,000 in there for extra stuff, equipment or rentals.
Right.
Okay. All right. So now let's take a look at those cost of goods versus sell price for all of the Jello shots in 2023. Not just LSU. Everybody. Obviously, LSU by far is leading the way. That's what we got on this little pink graph over here on the right.
Florida, TCU, Wake Forest, Virginia,
so
Oral
total,
Roberts.
They sold 95,030 Jello shots in the 2023 College World Series. Total revenue on that, $475,150 at selling for 5 cents a piece. Total cost of goods on those Jello shots with everything we talked about, $28,435.85. Now, this is all speculation. I'm not telling you, this is not from Rocco's. It might be a lot more than this. But based on my little bit of research, what I think their wholesale costs and everything, leaving out the labor, we got a total gross profit before their overhead. Gross profit, $446,714.13, all because LSU came into town. So that is the economic boom that Omaha can expect. That's the economic boom that Rocco's and all the other surrounding areas. Credit to them for building the brand, executing the brand, and also knowing what they're doing, and also giving a lot to charity. So credit to them. Count me in for 100.
That 100?
100.
Okay, my Heisen and 100 shots. That's why we said. Great work, by the way. I mean, great numbers. That's why we said when Chase Shores had the third strike, nobody, not even Jay Johnson's wife, not even the players' moms were as excited as Rocco's and the ownership group there.
$446,000 profit after all their costs, expenses, and that's me juicing a couple of numbers as well.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to say something, but I'm like, let's go to break because we're going to have another 30 seconds.
Right. Sure.
Look, we're consistent, okay? We are consistent.
I need us to be consistently better.
We're consistently probably not going to be better.
I could have gone into less details.
Let's go.
More OTB when we
Off
come
the
back.
bench.
She just early stabbed me.
Yeah.
I need us to
get your ass moving, boys.
I mean, dude, it's part of the show. It's a fabric of who we are. Exactly. Just like the fabric of this show is
great companies
like Trash Rangers. TrashRangers.com.
Amazing company.
225-363-9053. Residential, commercial service, roll-off dumpsters, 3 different sizes to choose from. Look, simplify your trash disposal with Trash Rangers. No hidden fees, reliable weekly service, and text reminders. Remember, they are not going to allow you to get in trouble. They are going to text you, hey, bud, hey, pal, tomorrow's trash day. Go put out your trash. That would save me.
Yeah, nothing worse than forgetting the trash. That is awful. But roll-off dumpsters, commercial, residential, if you're cleaning out the garage, cleaning out the attic, give them a call today. It's trashrangers.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Pearl Jam, and the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over one markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance with the latest in office technology from desktop. Perfect fit for you. Call 225-7644 for Gulf Coast Office.
Is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look a renewed sense of vitality.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
And OTB, one final segment.
Are y'all? I'm gonna miss the Wolfpack.
You're gonna have toes in the sand, Dos Equis in hand.
Hey, you're gonna forget about
I'm
us?
just kidding. I told Jake I'm gonna try to.
No, you're not.
I was gonna try to FaceTime in from the plane.
Can't FaceTime.
That $20 Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Y'all ever buy that $20 Wi-Fi on the plane and then it doesn't even work?
If the flight is long enough,
God, I would
If
never.
the flight's long enough,
Yeah.
like there's sometimes I get on a flight for a work trip and I'm like, I gotta do emails because it's during like midday on a Tuesday.
I don't think there's anything on a plane I'd pay $20 for.
I paid
Nothing.
for Wi-Fi on that 3.5
You
hour
got
Cali
to,
flight.
yeah.
if they were like,
I'm not raw dogging a flight.
no,
Nah.
I can't.
Can't do it, won't do it.
No.
Can't stop, won't
Ask the
stop.
bench.
Yeah.
I
What's
see
the other?
around.
The other
Usually
shot?
Tito's
Never had
is
a
what I
Grey
go.
Goose is a big one.
Yeah.
Never
My
had
wife
it.
and I did a blind popular ones, and Kettle One actually won in the blind taste test.
Let's see. Ask the ever like
Stick to the basics.
just whiskey.
Ice cold Fireball, maybe. you know.
Drink it feels right. Didn't the website that is Kate been doing it a very long time ago. That was. He was a redshirt freshman. He's even
Always.
older. You're doing things the right way. They can do it both. Brandon Barton and the team immediately. K2ZBlinds.com.
Yeah, K to Z. Go tick up. You want some help with that? Go to K2ZBlinds.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No pay